Okay, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the first day of the 2026 Arnold Classic. We saw the Classic Physique prejudging just a few short hours ago, and tonight is day one, the men's open prejudging. So we will see the final for Classic, and we will see the men's open prejudging. You guys, thank you everybody for joining me. Really excited to be back for this. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. I can just the excitement surrounding this show has been absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. So we'll see exactly how this all stacks up. Welcome back, Mr. Sardine. Man, brings you back to elementary school. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you being here, Black Patron. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. David Bay being the commentator for the Arnold Classic. Most notably absent being Bob Chicarillo, who is no longer affiliated with the Arnold Classic. I don't know if you guys remember that story or not, but yeah, Bob Chicarillo, no longer part of the Arnold Classic. David Bay, a very accomplished commentator, and I think he's going to do a great job. I sounded a little too Donald Trump to me. I'm not going to say that again. Black Patron missed most of the Classic stream, but it seemed kind of boring with no mic in there. No, I don't know about that. You know, I thought it was pretty exciting. Sam Sulek definitely helped make that exciting, but no, I think it was a pretty exciting prejudging. Did the bullies push you into the? I see what you did there. I see what you did. There's a reason I made you a moderator of the chat. You know, there's a reason. Thanks for being here, brother. Elf Maid, welcome to the chat. Welcome. You guys joining me here. This should be a very exciting show. I think we might see some surprises. Something's telling me that it is going to be very exciting. I think that we are going to see some unexpected showings here. Guys that are going to show up even better than what people were anticipating. Brandon Curry, I think, being one of them. And Mafuda, I think, has a very good chance of impressing a lot of people. We know that he's going to do well. But how well is he going to do? Well, we're going to find out soon. Starting out with the fitness division. You know, I always really enjoyed the fitness division. It was ever since I started streaming, or ever since I started covering bodybuilding at the 2022 Olympia. You know, those were some of my first bits of coverage, and I really, really enjoyed the fitness division. It is the only division that you'll find out there where you actually see an athleticism portion to anything in bodybuilding. This is the only time that you're going to see it. So I really do enjoy the fitness division. I encourage you guys to all get signed up for the official live stream. Watch along with me, but to support the official live stream as well, you go to arnoldsports.com and you can get signed up. Yeah, the athleticism is just crazy when it comes to the fitness division. I'd like to see more athleticism in the IFBB Pro League. I don't know what exactly it would entail, but some sort of a men's component where just something fitness related would be a little bit different. And maybe that's a conversation for another day, but we'll see. We'll see. What's the top 3 predictions for Open? My top 3 predictions would be Andrew Jackson first. I have Hadi Choopan in second, and I have Nick Walker taking third place. Whether or not that comes true or not, we shall see. We have some serious wildcards in this lineup, including, I don't really know if you'd call him a wild card, but Martin Fitzwater. I think Martin Fitzwater is expected to do well. Martin being a wild card maybe for a little bit higher than top 4, top 3. I don't know if he'll end up being any higher than that. My stream is 5 to 10 seconds behind. I think that's kind of acceptable, but we'll reload here. Make sure that we're completely up to date. And here we are. Hope you guys are following along at home with the official stream. Sure to like and subscribe to EP09 Bodybuilding. Thank you everybody for being here and supporting the channel. Really happy to be back on YouTube. Very happy to be back here with you guys. I'm that ninja EV3DI. Is Nick going to make the top 3? I sincerely hope so. I don't know if Nick will make the top 3, but I am very hopeful that Nick does end up making the top 3. Whether or not he does, well, you guys let me know what you think about that. I'm very hopeful that Nick makes it into that top 3. Can he do better than the top 3? Now, that is a serious question. I really don't know. I really don't know. Nick is another wild card. Nick is another wild card. The fact of the matter is, Nick coaching himself this year, doing his own thing, it could spell absolute victory or it could spell absolute disaster. I really don't know. I don't think anybody does. We have seen some updates from Nick along the way. They have been very encouraging, but whether or not it will be the difference between him coming in and regaining some of his former glory in his physique, being what many people consider to be the 2021 Arnold Classic, 2022 Olympia, I don't know if Nick can replicate that at this point. He may have pushed his physique too far. He may have widened his midsection that extra mile, that not mile, but inch, that you may not be able to come back from. It's very hard to say right now. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. The Open was presumably going to be last, so we have the fitness division. Then we have the wellness finals, we have the Classic Physique finals, and then we will have the men's open prejudging. The Arnold shows go by pretty quickly because it is limited in the number of competitors. This is an invitation-only show. So got about 10 people in each lineup, maybe 12, 13 in some of these women's lineups, but it should not take long for us to get through some of these divisions and find out exactly how these guys are looking, because a lot of these open competitors, some of the top guys out there, Martin Fitzwater, Nick Walker, Hadi Choopan, Andrew Jack, we haven't seen very much from them in the last couple of weeks leading up to the Arnold. Appreciate you guys getting in the chat. I encourage all you guys to get into the chat and make sure you vote on the poll. Black Patron says, based on recent results, Martin is second only to Hadi and maybe tied with Andrew. I think that's fair to say. I think that is fair to say based on the recent placings, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. This is a whole new show. It all depends on how these guys are going to show up. I don't, Jack Say, welcome back. Jack Say was here with us in the live stream earlier for the Classic Physique prejudging. I don't hate Martin, but I think he is a baby who is making fake drama. I agree with that. I saw Martin's interview that he did with Dave Palumbo at the meet and greet, and he told Dave, as you would expect, I don't hate you when it comes to media, and I don't hate Nick's strength and power, is what he said. He said, I like Nick's strength and power, and I like you. Well, standing in front of Dave is one thing, and Nick being the biggest in the space, well, that's certainly another. But calling all media trash really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like that he said that, and we'll see how he shows up. We'll leave it at that. Christopher Santino, can you explain what we are watching from someone who is new to the sport? Huge Sam superfan, and what has me interested? Well, you and many people, my friend, you and many people. So what we're watching is the fitness division. This is the only division in the IFBB that has both a physical fitness category as well as a physique category. So they have a routine that they need to do in terms of fitness, similar to what they do in terms of posing on stage, where there are mandatory poses. They also look for specific moves that these women need to pull off as well. Most of them are standard, and I'm not going to pretend to name them all, but the feats of athleticism from these women is something that's not only very entertaining, but very impressive. I really, really enjoy the fitness routines. You know, they're entertaining to watch, and they do show that athleticism. I mean, these competitors spend so much time in the gym. This is literally the only division where they get to show what they can do with their physique beyond posing on stage. There's nothing else. So I do really like the fitness division. Dominic Hoffenberger 10. Apologize, brother. Sorry, are we watching the actual 2026 live? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I hope you're enjoying yourself, brother. I doubt he would put you into that category. I got a wild guess. He's referring to the likes of even bodybuilding, etc. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't think I'm on Martin's radar. I don't think Martin even knows who I am. In fairness, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm here for the fans, and as a fan of bodybuilding, just privileged enough to have some very high level conversations with some of the top names in the sport. So very happy about that. Y'all never hated on Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath to win, and both of them have gut issues. Andrew Jack is them with better abs. A lot of people hated on Phil Heath. A lot of people hated on Phil Heath. After he won a few Olympias, I mean, Phil was literally the villain. A lot of people hated on Phil Heath, man. You know, he was nicknamed the Dream Killer, and he bought into it. Phil Heath, he caught a lot of flack. Freedom Fightress 17. Why is it called Fitness Division? They look like train for a musical or something. Well, because it's the only category that shows any amount of physical fitness. It's the only one. Like I said, I really like it because of that. I really do. You're welcome, Christopher Santino. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this official coverage of the Arnold Classic 2026 on EP09 Bodybuilding. Going to be a very exciting show. Walking Dead 2024, she's like a ballerina. Look at the physical strength that we're seeing here. This is very, very impressive. If any of you guys have ever actually tried to do any of these things, you know, obviously within certain reason, it takes muscular strength, endurance, flexibility. It takes the list goes on to what it takes to pull off a routine like this. Core strength. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We would all crumble. You know, we would all crumble. I consider myself to be fairly strong. Yeah, I'd have a broken neck. Very impressive. I like how they start the Olympia typically with the fitness division. You know, it kind of just makes it a little bit more exciting. This is my first time watching an Arnold or any bodybuilding show. What is happening? So again, this is the fitness division. There is a physical fitness component where they do a routine based on certain moves that they do like to look for when it comes to these feats of strength, endurance, flexibility. But there is also a fitness component that they did at the prejudging. So I don't remember what the percentages are for how the routine is scored versus the physique round, but like I said, this is the fitness category, and it's honestly one of the more entertaining categories. Well, it's hardcore, man. It is. It's hardcore. You can compare it to a gymnastics routine. You certainly can. Absolutely, you can. Respect for power, but I still don't get it. It's just something to enjoy. It's just there for the entertainment factor and to show that not only can you have a physique component, but you can also have a physical fitness component. Imagine the boys doing a routine like that. I don't know what kind of a routine you would see from the men's division, but I would like something to be considered. I don't know if it's feasible, but it would be an interesting conversation. It would be an interesting conversation. Is Classic after this? My guess is that Wellness Finals will be after this. Then we will have Classic, and then we will have Men's Open. I don't know if they'll do a confirmation round for fitness or not. I'm not 100% sure. Definitely possible, but yeah, this is very, very exciting. Philly Vanilli 26. Do you think the Arnold Classic will go the more aesthetic direction tonight and reward Andrew, even if Hadi is more conditioned? I do. Yeah, I actually do. I think I've always believed that the Arnold is judged just a little bit differently than the Olympia or other shows. I do think that there's more of an emphasis on classic, and I think that Andrew is going to be rewarded for that. I do think he will be if he shows up in shape. He is if he's off at all, that's going to be it. If he's too flat standing next to the other guys, he will not take home that title. If he's not conditioned enough, he doesn't have to be the most conditioned guy on stage, but if he's not conditioned enough, not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's no detail from the back in his lower body. I think it'll really hurt him. So we'll see. We'll see. As opposed to guys that you know are going to show up in shape. Hadi Choopan, 100% going to show up in shape. Dick Walker, 100% going to show up in shape. Remember Martin Fitzwater, 2025 EVLS Prague Pro? Conditioning on conditioning, okay? If Martin shows up like that, he is going to be very difficult for anybody to defeat, just given the fact that he will be ultra, ultra conditioned. But we'll see how he shows up. Haven't seen very much from Martin leading up to this. He has shown a little bit in the last week or two, but not enough for us to really say, yes, Martin Fitzwater is a serious contender to take home that title as compared to Andrew Jack, Hadi Choopan. Difficult to say. But in that conversation for top 3, 100%. Somebody asked about Mike Somerfeld. For some of you guys that are not aware, Mike Somerfeld did not make the weight for the Classic Physique cutoff. He actually thought that he was going to measure an inch taller than what he did. He showed up and he was over the limit by 7 pounds. 7 pounds, you guys, okay? I guess the word going around is that he received some incorrect information that he was going to be heighted in again as opposed to the Olympia. He ended up being over by 6 or 7 pounds, and he did not have enough time to drop that weight. There was also conversation going around about Mike Somerfeld going into the open division and competing there. Because the Arnold is an invitational, they could extend him an invite to compete in the open. That was a very hot topic for a very short period of time going around online. That will not be taking place. Mike Somerfeld is out. He made a recent post saying that he will be competing. Well, he said that he was going to be at the Arnold UK. He didn't specifically say compete, but the assumption is that he will be competing. That's the assumption. Elite 50 Fitness, appreciate you, EP. I appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you very much. 28 FC 11. I thought open bodybuilding is tomorrow, Saturday. The finals are tomorrow. The prejudging for men's open is tonight. Some very impressive fitness routines here as well, you guys. Like I said, something definitely to watch out for. How many female competitors are there? The men should be after. So there will be the wellness division after this, and then we will see the Classic Physique Finals, and then we will see the men's open prejudging. Many, many things in question when it comes to the men's open prejudging. And look, we could go down the list of the question marks behind the competitors coming into this show. Every single one of them have a question mark at this point. Andrew Jack. Will Andrew be rewarded for his shape because this is the Arnold Classic? Has the recent controversies around Hadi Choopan and his home country essentially turning on him affected his preparation, having Evagin drop him 2 weeks before this competition? Martin Fitzwater. Will Martin be rewarded here on the Arnold Classic stage, given the fact that he's not the most classic looking physique? And I mean, this is open bodybuilding, of course, but How's Martin going to show up? Because we haven't seen very much from him. Nick Walker coaching himself. Huge question there when it comes to Nick Walker. How is Nick Walker going to look after what we saw at the 2025 Mr. Olympia, where he certainly did not show up at his best? Nick now coaching himself. What is that going to look like? It will be make or break for Nick Walker. Brandon Curry, will we see more improvements from Brandon Curry? Rafael Brandao. Question marks around the shape of Rafael Brandao, if he will be in condition. Has he really improved from a muscle mass standpoint? Many question marks around Rafael Brandao. Mohamed Fouda, is he going to be able to compare to some of these guys from a size standpoint? Has he been too lean for too long leading up to this show? That's another question that's been going around as well. Hard to say. Hard to say. And you can continue to go down the list. That's part of what makes this show extremely, extremely exciting. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. It's just wellness awards. They will do the awards for fitness as well. I don't know if you've talked about this, but what is this fitness division even about? What is being judged? Acrobatics. So I'll explain it again. I did touch on this already, but the fitness division is the only division that actually has a physique component as well as a physical fitness component. So these women come up with their own routine. They do have mandatory bouts of fitness that they do have to hit when it comes to doing your routine. I think one of them is like a one-arm push-up. I think they have to lift themselves off the ground while they're doing the splits. I'm not 100% sure on the actual mandatory bouts of fitness that they need to do. But that's the whole idea behind it, is you do have the physique. Now, that's one of the, what we just saw right there. I believe that's one of the mandatory components when it comes to these bouts of fitness that they need to do. It's very impressive, you guys. You know, very impressive. I really do like the fitness division. I'm spending more time talking to you guys. I get that. But the fitness division is definitely worth paying attention to. And it's easily my favorite women's division. No question. Let's see. Catch up with you guys in the chat. Appreciate all you guys getting into the chat. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. We'll be here tonight. We'll be here tomorrow for the finals for Men's Open. Very exciting show, you guys. Very exciting show. Like I said, many question marks surrounding these guys. Let me know who you guys have in your top 5 for the Men's Open. I want to see that in the chat. Like I said, for me, as of right now, we've got Andrew Jack, I think, is going to take home the win. After that, I've got Hadi Choopan. I've got Nick Walker in 3rd. I do want to personally see Nick place higher. Nick is a former Arnold Classic champion. You know, you guys got to remember that. That was 5 years ago, but regardless, former Arnold Classic champ. We have Martin Fitzwater, I think, that will ultimately take 5th place. Brandon Curry, I have in 6th. Martin in 4th, Brandon in 5th. And 6th place and below, kind of a toss-up for me. But again, I want to hear you guys when it comes to your top 5. A lot of good activity in the chat. I'm going to see the poll results right now. Poll is up. You guys get your votes in. Who will win the Arnold Classic 2026 Men's Open? 46% say Andrew Jack will take home the win on the Arnold Classic stage. 28% for Hadi Choopan, 18% for Nick Walker, and only 7% for Martin Fitzwater. Quite a decent lead for Andrew Jack as of right now. We'll see if that turns around as the night progresses. I don't doubt the possibility, but it's a shame we didn't even get to see that comparison. You must be talking about Mike. It is too bad that we didn't get to see Mike compete, but look, these are the rules that you need to play by. He obviously received some bad information when it comes to being the weighing in process and the heighting in process. Florian Adrian Stan 2112. I watch all the time your channel, and you do a great job. Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate you being here, all you guys. Mike said he was going for UK, and that gives him time to bring it down weight-wise. Oh, yeah, he'll make the weight when it comes to competing at the Arnold UK. He has plenty of time to make the weight in order to do that. No question. As our guy, Fareed Shahid, welcome back, brother. As our guy said in the previous stream when I commented, UK is a dogfight. And yes, it will be a dogfight. I'm glad that they're actually doing the Arnold UK. United C1 predictions. First being Hadi, second Andrew, third Martin, fourth Nick, fifth Brandon. Decent, I think, very decent predictions there. Could very well go that way. Could very well go that way. I have another question about women's fitness. What career path are they on? Are they dancers or will they promote supplements? What is the plan? That's individual to each competitor, but a lot of them are former gymnasts, fitness competitors of some sort. You do see that a lot when it comes to women that compete in this division, whether it be gymnastics. I think primarily is what you see. But for their career path, they're IFBB pros, same as any IFBB pro. You have supplement lines, you have clothing lines, you have other supplements that you could be sponsored by, wellness clinics, you name it. You name it. Meal prep companies. This is how they make money. YouTube channels, Instagram. This is all part of the business of bodybuilding for all of them. You wonder if maybe cutting so much weight make him seem smaller in the UK. Oh, Mike. Possible. I think possible for sure. Mike looked huge, massive in his updates going into this show. And now we know why. Is he going to look smaller by dropping 7 pounds? 100%. 100%. How much smaller? Remains to be seen. Oh, you can see Arnold Schwarzenegger in the audience putting up huge prize money here. Arnold, a champion of bodybuilding for what, 50 years more? The man himself, ladies and gentlemen. The man himself. The most prize money in bodybuilding is happening right now because of this man right here. PR Sweden 7205. First Hadi, second Andrew, third Nick, fourth Martin, fifth Brandon. Very good. Appreciate your predictions. Thank you. Black Patron, I still wish someone with Mike's genetics would give the Open a shot. We saw how good it went for Urs, and Mike has way better genetics. I agree. I would love to see Mike actually compete in the Open. Really go for it. Yeah, really go for it. I would really enjoy to see Mike get into the Open division. And I think he would be competitive. Not just as a selfish fan, but I think for him, he could be very competitive. I personally think that Mike should have done I think Mike should have done the Open here. I think it's a missed opportunity. Imagine the hype from the fans around Mike Somerfeld unexpectedly getting into the Open. I mean, how exciting would that have been, you guys? How exciting would that have been? I don't know what the decision was behind that. And look, we don't even know for sure that Mike was invited to compete in the Open, right? We don't know for sure. But it certainly would have added a level of excitement that we have probably never seen at the Arnold Classic ever in history. We're not going to see that, unfortunate. But it would have been very, very cool. Caesar Canales 9267, you have the best stream, my guy. Please keep commentating, as a lot of us don't know much about bodybuilding shows. Absolutely. I will do everything I can to make sure that you guys have as firm of an understanding as possible. As firm of an understanding as possible. So again, the show should go the fitness competitors. Then after that, we should see the wellness competitors do the finals. Then we will have the Classic Physique finals. And then we will have the men's Open prejudging. Those of you guys that joined me for the prejudging Classic Physique stream, appreciate all you guys who have rejoined me here. Very exciting with Wesley Visser showing up arguably at his all-time best. Now, I have seen mixed reactions around that, whether or not Wesley was at his all-time best. But I think in terms of the lower body, This is the best that we've seen from Wesley to date. This is crazy. I find yoga hard. Yeah. So would I. So would I. Where can I watch this without this dude's reaction? You can go to arnoldsports.com and get registered, or you can hit the mute button. It's all good. I just appreciate your view. Enigma1490. I'm going to be honest, guys. I never got the Nick Walker thing. I'm trying to put the fact I dislike his personality aside. God, that gut is terrible. Looks almost pregnant at times. And a lot of people actually are fans of Nick because of his personality. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. It's actually part of why I'm not a big Martin Fitzwater fan. Is, if I'm being completely honest, is his attitude. I don't enjoy it. But as a bodybuilding commentator, we will take his physique for what it is, and we will judge accordingly. If Nick shows up with a gut again, he's most likely placing behind Brandon Curry this time. Definitely. Yep. I don't think that the powers that be will allow that to happen when it comes to Nick placing ahead of Brandon. If Nick is not in top shape and Brandon is, it won't happen. Especially Brandon being a former Arnold Classic champ himself. I think he won 2, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so the fitness routines are complete, and we are moving into wellness. Starting with the individual presentations. So like I said, you guys, this show is on a very good pace. So it moves into the wellness division now. And we will find out the finals decisions when it comes to the wellness division. And again, from there, we go to classic when it comes to the finals. And then we have the men's open prejudging. Will not be long, you guys. Hang in there. It is going to be a fantastic show. And I appreciate all you guys being here for the live stream. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we will be going live tomorrow for the men's open finals. Better believe it. Mike wouldn't need to push his weight up that much either. He could be damn good around the 220s. Well, I think he is in the 220s now, isn't he? Isn't that where he's at? Isn't that because he was in the 220s why he couldn't make weight, if I'm not mistaken? A massive missed opportunity? Absolutely. Massive missed opportunity for, I think, Mike Somerfeld and for us fans of bodybuilding. Mike Somerfeld going into the open would have been ridiculously exciting. And I mean ridiculously exciting. For the fans of bodybuilding, that would have been something, like I said, that we have never seen before. Unfortunately, we will not see it this time. Again, appreciate you guys getting in the chat. Very active chat tonight. Thank you very much, you guys. Get your opinion out there in the chat. Who do you think is going to take home the Classic Physique title? Will it be Wesley Vissers, or will we see somebody else, maybe Menegate, really pull ahead? Probably unlikely in my opinion, but Wesley Vissers showing up, absolutely excellent. Enigma1490. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I love how progressive Arnold is with these events, but sometimes I wish they'd stick to bodybuilding. Well, in that sense, I think that Arnold has stuck to bodybuilding more so than other shows. You got to think 212 is not in this show. And 212 is a bodybuilding division. Well, I guess in that case, I mean, if you're going to stick to bodybuilding, then you wouldn't have men's physique over 212. But 212 is not the most exciting division out there. And that's just a general statement. But I feel like that's part of it. There's not many competitors in the show in each category. So I think because of that, it keeps the fans interested more so than 30, 40, 50 competitors in one category. You know, like you guys have been here for my Olympia streams. They just drag on when it comes to some of these categories. You know, 50 people in one category. It doesn't matter which one it is, whether it's anything from wellness to bikini to classic. It doesn't matter. You get to a certain point where it's just too much. At least the people behind the Arnold Classic have recognized that well in advance. And we have a very balanced show that runs along a very smooth timeline. Because it's better for the organizers and the people behind the scenes that are actually trying to keep this thing on track too, right? They have much less to worry about when it comes to the number of competitors that they need to keep, within a certain timeline. Fans are more engaged. It's just all around very well done. Mike weighed in at 211. If he did go to 220, that would be massive. Talking stage weight, but yeah. Would it have really been exciting? 100%. Regardless of how Mike would have shown up, it would have been very, very exciting. Extremely exciting. But unfortunately, we will not see that. But there is still plenty of excitement in this show. Plenty of excitement in this. Is Urs competing in this? No, Urs is not competing in this. In fact, Urs Kalaczynski dropped out of the New York Pro as well, apparently due to an ongoing illness. We will not see Urs compete in the first quarter of the bodybuilding season. It looks like that's going to be something where we'll see Urs compete in maybe the third or fourth quarter before the Olympia. But we will not see him on stage at the New York Pro, unfortunately. We had another competitor drop out, Sergio Oliva Jr., also dropping out due to a torn bicep from the New York Pro. So as of right now, the biggest name confirmed in the New York Pro is indeed one of my personal favorites, Michael Krizo. And that is going to be very exciting to see Michael Krizo compete at the New York Pro. What time is men's classic? Anybody know? I'd say men's classic is probably going to be within the next 30 to 40 minutes is my guess. I don't think it's going to take very long. Yeah, Sergio did pull out due to the bicep tear. Some very, very good shows upcoming, you guys. We have the Detroit Pro next weekend. That's going to be a really good show, too. Very well done. Fouad Abiad doing a fantastic job with that show the last couple of years. So it's going to be very exciting to see. She looks more bikini. It's very thin margins between the difference of wellness wellness to, I think, women's physique more than anything. Bikini, they're much less defined. I think it's different. She looks amazing. Yeah, this is actually a really good competitor here. I think I'd be very surprised if we didn't see Alexis. I didn't catch her last name. Very good competitor. When you think wellness, I think that's the kind of physique that you expect to see. "30 or 40 minutes is a long time. Compared to some of these shows, my friend, that is very quick. Very quick. Trust me, it is nothing for at the Olympia, the wellness division, the bikini division, the classic division to take. Oh, Alexis is Martin's girlfriend. She is definitely in shape, and I think that she's going to be a serious contender for the win here. Yeah, I think she's going to be a serious contender for the win. Yeah, it's nothing for categories at the Olympia to take. Man, well over an hour, getting on close to 2 hours for some, just the Olympia took forever, man. And they're not well known for starting on time. I think everybody's very well aware of that, which is really unfortunate. But the competitors here, I think, looking really competitive here for this wellness lineup. Very competitive. Everybody showed up here in very, very good shape. I think wellness really found its stride when it comes to the criteria. I mean, I know I just mentioned that it's pretty thin margins between women's physique and wellness, but the more defined lower body is definitely the differentiating factor. And the conditioning, I think, is proper as compared to when it first came out. Wellness really did find its own criteria, and I think it's pretty well understood at this point. Bradford McDermott 2063. Martin should apologize to Giles for his opinion of Seabum as proper winner of last year's Prague. Seabum did look better. Martin was a water buffalo sweating. I think Martin should apologize to Giles for the smack to the phone and the smack talk, if anything. Look, it's just not professional, man. It's just not professional. I'm sure you guys saw the interview that Martin did with Dave Palumbo, speaking about how he wished that the media wasn't so soft and that in ESPN you wouldn't see that, and he wants to see bodybuilding be like ESPN. Look, if a competitor in the NFL smacked a camera or a phone of a commentator while they were in the middle of a game or something like that, or an interview, that person would be castrated online, by the super fans. They would be absolutely castrated. This woman just lost an earring. Now, here's a mark of very professional composure, okay? Lost an earring, you would never even know it unless you just were watching, right? That's the mark of a true competitor. You just keep going. Just keep going. Am I doing a watch party next week? Whoa, did I just see what she had for breakfast? Maybe. I haven't really thought far enough ahead to next week. I would certainly like to. I would stay tuned. My plan would be to do it, I think, yes. But as of right now, I'm not 100% sure. I would really like to do a live stream for the Detroit Pro, though. Absolutely. At the very least, I will do some show coverage for sure. We'll look at Detroit this upcoming week. We'll look at the competitors list, which will be out on Monday, and we'll do a episode of the Bodybuilding Breakdown, and we will discuss it with, I would say, Mark's Max Muscle. We'll see if we can round up Xavier Wills. Maybe we'll round up Lee Priest again. Get the crew back together. It's good to be back on YouTube. Very good to be back here. And again, thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate you guys being here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. So you can see that conditioning is a little bit of a factor for this competitor. Not quite as conditioned as what we're seeing from the other competitors. And I think that the judges favor just a little bit more conditioning when it comes to being in wellness. Not much more, but I think just a little bit more than what we're seeing here. I think that they'd want to see a little bit more definition in the quads, a little bit more separation in the glutes and hamstrings. I don't think this is quite enough in terms of conditioning. And moving through wellness, like I said, you guys, after wellness, we will be moving into the Classic Physique Finals, where I think we will see Wesley Vissers take home the win. Coop 06, no, Classic didn't happen yet. We will see Classic shortly. Derek definitely didn't deserve to win the Olympia, especially finals. He was watery in front, oily in his biceps, no separation, looked like the worst Mr. Olympia winner, bad judging. Derek is another factor altogether. The fact that he won 3 major shows in 2025. We can talk about Derek on an episode of the Bodybuilding Breakdown coming up. I don't know what to make of him right now. I really don't. Andrew was robbed. Andrew was robbed at the Olympia. Is that what you mean, Bradford? Walking Dead 2024. How do they keep the glute size and lose the fat there? I think a lot of it comes down to your training methods and your training frequency. I don't know. I can't answer that exactly, but as Freedom Fightress is alluding to, I would say that is probably a very big portion of how they do that. You guys take a look at the chat and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Looking at the poll results again, who will win the Arnold Classic 2026 Men's Open? 400 votes so far. Appreciate all you guys getting your votes in. As of right now, we have 48% for Andrew Jack, 27% for Hadi Choopan, 18% for Nick Walker, and 7% for Martin Fitzwater, respectively. So still a very healthy lead for Andrew Jack in the eyes of the fans here on EP09 Bodybuilding. It looks like you guys favor Andrew Jack to take home the title as of right now. Now, I have seen these polls change when these guys do start taking the stage, and we may see that again this time. But we'll see how these guys show up. We'll see how these guys show up. It's not uncommon for me to close a poll and then start it again after maybe individuals or after the comparison round. Stick around and we'll have a chat, see what we thought of the show. We'll see what happens. Are these girls natty? Absolutely not. Maybe some. Probably not, though. England 3398. I'm looking forward. I'm looking to find Mike's family and ask them why you didn't tell your son and teach him that cheating is a bad thing. Mike is one of the top competitors in the world, and when you get to be one of the top in the world, you will literally do anything in order to win that title, even things that you wouldn't expect of yourself. I'm not saying that happened with Mike here, but this is the top of the top competition in the world, guys. Okay. People will do crazy things. Not saying he did, but people will. The Derek Olympia win is going to go down as the worst decision of all time. Wow, that is bold. The worst decision of all time? I don't know if I'll see Derek win another Olympia. I'll put it that way. I don't know if he'll win another one, but hey, we'll see what happens. I don't think Sebum is done. He wanted to focus on family, but he also had injuries to recover from. He did. Yeah, he did. I think you'll see him come back. Camel 3612. Thoughts on Visser's placements at the upcoming Olympia? Wesley is inconsistent when it comes to his track record at the Olympia. He could either be in the top 3, he could be in the top 2, he could be a contender to win, but his track record at the Olympia has been less than exemplary. Typically with Wesley Vissers, we do not see him perform well at the Olympia. So I think it's hard to say. Whatever placing Wesley gets here, which I do think he'll end up getting the win, I don't think that can be an indicator for how well he'll do at the Olympia based on his previous Olympia history. My hope is that Wesley does very well at the Olympia. I think Wesley can do very well at the Olympia. But it's difficult to say based on his track record. You guys let me know what you think about that. I really think Martin is going to win. Wasn't going for him originally, but somehow I think he's going to cause a shockwave today. Martin very well could. Martin very well could. I don't know if he will, but it would certainly make for a very exciting storyline for this Arnold Classic, without a doubt, and would skyrocket him when it comes to predictions for the Olympia. Maybe we'll see Martin do another show this year. Where do I think Sam Sulek will rank? I think Sam is going to be between 6th and 8th. Probably more between 7th and 8th is my guess. We will see Sam Sulek on stage after the wellness is completed. So we're definitely getting on to the end of the wellness individuals right now. I don't know if they'll bring everybody out later for the final comparisons in the awards or if they'll do it now. We'll find out as soon as they finish the individuals. Steve Kuklo beating Bayeki is another one. Right, I remember that one. Yeah, that was a difficult call. That was difficult. Black Patron, old school. That's why we have Black Patron as a moderator, ladies and gentlemen. Derek was a clear winner at last year's Arnold Classic. Many said Samson wasn't lean enough at the Olympia, and the bright AC lights showed that later. Yeah, the Olympia lighting is been improved upon as compared to 2024. 2025 was better, but I still think there's room for improvement. So again, this competitor here, I think this is another situation where we don't quite see enough separation. I think that you need to be a little bit more conditioned than this when it comes to wellness. We want to see a little bit more detail when it comes to the quads, the glute and ham separation. Not much more than this, but maybe a percentage point or two. You can see her hair covering her shoulders, and it really should be moved back, probably, is my guess as well. If I was a judge, I would be looking for something like that, but we'll see. Final competitor coming out now for the wellness division. Mike definitely would have won Classic, though, if he would have made weight. I'm not too sure about that. I think there's a very strong possibility that, yes, he would have, but I don't know if it's 100% guaranteed. I think it's likely. I do think that if Mike was in, I would, as much as I want Wesley to take home the title, I do think they probably would have went for Mike, but he didn't play by the rules, so we'll never know. When does Sam go on? I would say within the next 30 minutes, I guess, roughly. We'll see. We'll see Classic come on, I think, within the next probably 30. That's just my guess. I personally think his legs are still too small to compete with people like Roman, Mike, Niall, and Jose. They still do have room to improve. I could agree with that. But they are notably much better than they were at the Olympia. No thigh gap. He has an actual defined outer quad sweep. He's improved. He's improved. Bradford McDermott 2063. Very good comment, I think. Mike should have been disqualified for cheating last year. Logan was true winner of the Arnold True Classic Physique. Even Seabum told Logan that. Mike has some questions that he needs to answer. And I think this being the second time that this has happened to him, I feel like it's going to hurt his momentum. I think it's going to hurt his momentum. I think behind the scenes might be a little bit different than his public reaction, to say the least. Freedom Fighter 17. Do you think Samson will retire this year if he doesn't win? No, I don't think Samson will retire. I think Samson is going to keep going for another, I think, 3 years minimum. I really think 3 years minimum. The guy is still growing. He is still competitive at the highest level. He wants to win, of course. But I don't think you'll see Samson retire, no. No, I don't think so. And he loves to compete. He genuinely just loves to compete, especially with a brand new sponsor. Samson's going to keep going. Do I know which pro show Hunter is going to do this year? I actually don't, but I'm very interested to see which one he will do. Very interested to see which show Hunter Labrada is going to do. When I first started covering bodybuilding, I was not a fan of Hunter Labrada by any stretch of the imagination. But he made significant improvements to his midsection. He improved on his conditioning, and he won me over. I'm a Hunter Labrada fan now. So this is still the wellness division that's on stage right now. Liz Gaspari, VP Gaspari Nutrition. Are you really a VP of Gaspari Nutrition? That'd be interesting. I think you would know this category if that was the case. Anyway, I wonder if we will see the hairpiece back on Mike for the weigh-in for the Arnold UK. Well, of course you will. Of course you will. It's his signature now. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think I'd like to see that clarified up front as to what the Arnold UK is going to do with the weigh-in and the height-in. What is it going to be, so that we have an expectation as the fans of bodybuilding and myself as a commentator to be able to put out that correct information? I'd really like to know that. So currently doing not the individuals. We're currently looking at the final comparisons for the wellness division. I don't know if they'll do the rewards after this or not, but this is the finals for the wellness division that we're seeing right now. England 3398. Always Iranian people in hard, they do even better. Only because they all grow up in hard places and hard times. This is why tonight Hadi's going to come in very hard and in good shape. Knowing what we know about Hadi, I think that it is definitely, definitely possible that Hadi is going to show up in that type of shape. I think that Hadi is honestly just hard as nails, man. I really think that if anybody's going to pull it off, despite the adversity, it will be Hadi Choopan. I really think so. Hadi's just on a different level than some of these guys, man. Honestly, he really is. I mean, you watch this guy train at a week out of the show. Hadi's rowing like 8 plates. Not great form, but he's still putting the weight up. And we see that consistently. Strip sets on squats. I mean, granted, it's on a Smith machine, but I mean, he'll have what, 6, 7 plates on there doing strip sets when he's a week out of the show. You can't slow the guy down. You'd have to beat him with a sledgehammer to slow him down. He's unbelievable. Do I think Samson is going to win the Olympia again? I think he could. I think he could. Whether or not he will really depends on what kind of condition he's going to bring with the added size and if that midsection is going to stay in check. But do I think he's going to win the Olympia again? Hard to say at this far out. I think he's putting himself in the best position to win the Olympia. And I think that putting on the size was a good decision. I think it was a good decision. Hunter lets his physique do the talking. I can respect that. Yeah, he does. He does. Hunter was humbled. He was humbled, I think, is what happened. One of the open guys coming up, GigaChad4489. We will see the open competitors after the wellness is completed and after the classic physique is completed. They will be doing the awards for the fitness as well tonight. So you guys can see the difference in conditioning from one competitor to the other here. And I think that's the difference in, presumably this is first and second place. You don't want to be too conditioned, but you still do want to see some definition. So I actually thought that more conditioning was favored in wellness than what they seem to have here for the top 2. But again, too much conditioning in wellness can definitely hurt you. But you see that definition between the glutes and hamstrings. You do have to have at least some definition. It can't be too much, but you do have to have some. Freedom Fighter 17. Let's all support EP with a like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys being here. And yes, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys very much for being here. And also make sure to check out our sponsor here on EP09. Go to BayouMuscle.com. Use code EP10 at checkout. Supplement company started by a fan of the channel called Davey Mize. Just another fan of bodybuilding that wanted to give back to the sport in his own way. Supplement line is absolutely crazy and it is growing. You know, for a grassroots company, this stuff is some of the best quality and some of the best tasting stuff that I've honestly ever had. And I don't gain anything from that by saying that, you guys. You know, he sends me from some free stuff, to be honest with you, but he's just trying to get this thing off the ground. Oh, Davey's just trying to get it off the ground. He's in very early stages, but they are excellent supplements. I encourage all you guys to go to BayouMuscle.com, save some money, use my code EP10, and it does help support the channel as well and help support another fan of bodybuilding. And we are getting into the classic physique right here and right now, ladies and gentlemen. Individual comparisons. We have Vahid Badpay, I think it is. I know it's not Bad Pie like they say on Bro Chat, although I do like Bad Pie. But regardless, let's see how he's looking for the individual. Very good conditioning. I'd like to see a little bit more definition in the quads, but we are seeing that hardness, that graininess in the upper body, I think, just on the proper level for classic physique. Very slow and methodical when it comes to his posing. Good separation, I think, between the hamstrings and the quads and the side. Really taking his time to go through these poses for his individual routine. It counts for more at the Arnold Classic, and I will die on that hill, okay? You will be rewarded for having more of an artistic routine because the Arnold Classic has more of an emphasis on the art of bodybuilding than any other competition that you'll find in the IFBB Pro League. Eric Teal, recognize that familiar Canadian accent. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. You're doing a great job of breaking it down. I like the sport, but don't understand it. What I think should win never does. Liking and subscribing. Thank you very much for the like and subscribe. With Classic, it does come down to a lot of presentation, especially at the Arnold. And this is very good presentation. You don't see this very often with a competitor that slows down, takes their time, lets the judges actually see their physique holding the poses. Watch how he's going to hold this pose. See how he's holding it? 1, 2, 3, 2.5, 3 seconds. That's a good amount of time to hold poses. You don't want to take too much time. You want to be able to make sure you can get through your routine. But I think that he is doing a great job displaying his physique here. You know, Vahid Badpay or Bad Pie? It's not Bad Pie, but that's got me ruined. Thanks, buddy. Very, very good physique. I think it's Badpay. But anyway. Yeah, very good routine here. Very good routine. I think you should be very happy with his showing here. Okay, we've got an Arnold Classic debut here from Kim Angel, who did make the top 4 callout. Looking like he was battling it out between 3rd and 4th. Let's see if he's made any improvements. Also taking his time here when it comes to really taking his time through these poses. He's competed a lot in 2025, won more shows than anyone else in the Classic Physique division in 2025. Now, Classic Physique can be very competitive in some shows, but there are other shows that are not necessarily as competitive in Classic Physique. There's shows that you guys have never even heard of that they'll have just a Classic Physique division in there, right? So, although he did win a lot of shows, I think that he has some gaps that he needs to fill in when it comes to his physique. Conditioning wise, maybe a little bit more separation I'd like to see through the quads. I said it when it came to prejudging. He does have the hardness, I think, that we want to see from a competitor. But I don't think that he has the deep separation. I don't think we're seeing the striations like we need to. And I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe it's an amount of water that he needs to drop as a potential. I'm not 100% sure. But there is something that's missing in terms of definition from Kim Angel here. Overall, I think a good routine. But he could stand to... he could certainly stand to have a little bit more, I think, definition overall. But he does look like he's hard, very. He's watery. Yeah, so it could be water, I think. It's just not it's not quite enough in terms of definition. The separation isn't there. He did make the top 4 though. Ooh. Now see, that's the thing. You need to take your time when it comes to your routine. I don't know if that'll necessarily hurt him, because when it comes right down to it, it's going to be the comparisons that the judges are really going to base it off of. But yeah, Kim Angel, as of right now, top 4. Okay, Ethan Gohari taking the stage now. Kim Angel is decent, but he's flat as a board from the back. Yeah, he just doesn't have that separation. I'm not seeing it. So Ethan Gohari making his Arnold Classic debut. I think good balance overall from top to bottom. Needs a little bit more conditioning, I feel, overall. The side leg, though, decent conditioning there. The separation from the hamstring to the quad, decent conditioning there as well. Showing potential in terms of classic physique, but really just needing more overall size. Really just need more overall size. I think this is a pretty good indication that he can definitely make improvements. See, when these guys, they start going too fast and they lose balance, right? Decent abs, I think. Overall, I think that we could see just a little bit more of everything from Gohari. You know, a little bit more separation, a little bit more size, deeper etched abs. Doesn't look like he does look like he's getting a little bit better as he does continue to pose. But I think that he's showing up here again pretty respectable. Sam might defeat this guy. Maybe. Sam might be better conditioned than this guy. I think that he's got more definition in the back than this guy does. Ethan Gohari, that is. Good vacuum. And good posing routine. You know, he's up there and he's posing as if he's going to be the winner. He really is. And that can count for a lot in the eyes of the judges. He's not, he doesn't lack any confidence. The open prejudging is tonight, Josh the Truth Seeker, and then we will have the open finals tomorrow night. Sam might defeat. Yeah, Sam might. Him fumbled with that last pose. I thought coming into this he could win best pose reward. Now, Jorge Herrera, interesting competitor in this lineup. Very interesting. Initially, I think my initial thoughts, rather, I think he did make improvements from prejudging. He's got a very good classic physique. Very good classic physique. You can see good definition in the quads. Really good midsection too. Shoulders are crazy. Good roundness to the shoulders. Good balance from shoulders to arms. Got yeah, he's got some striations going through the chest as well. Pretty artistic posing routine. Getting to the point where he's spending too much time on the ground, though. There you go. There you go. Okay. You'll see competitors do that, I think, a little bit too much. You know, they'll spend time on the ground and they'll turn around on their knees and hit poses and back and forth and back and forth. Not in this case. Look at the separation in the back. Very, very good. Flowing through his posing routine, I think, very well. Another guy that I think is getting better as he continues to pose. Not going too fast, but he's just on the edge, I think, of rushing through his poses. He just slowed down, you know, add another half second to a second to some of these poses. But this is very impressive. I think this is a guy that could battle for top 6. I think definitely possible. Yeah, he's doing very well. This is a very good showing for Jorge Herrera. Very good showing. Maybe 4th place. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough for him to make 4th. But I do think that he is definitely more separated than Kim Angel. I think that he has maybe better balance than Kim Angel. Van Du Pirate, sorry. That's possible. That's possible. Paul Canoe coming in now. Paul Canoe, I think, with a very impressive classic physique. The roundness from this guy, you know, the taper from this guy. Very good classic physique. Sam used to hit his side chest Arnold style. Now he does some awkward modern variation. Sam needs to work on his posing. There's no question. Now, Paul Canoe, you know, he gives me a bit of a Stefan Matala type vibe in terms of the roundness, through the upper body. Not quite as big and actually able to make weight for Classic. You guys know what I'm talking about. But a very, very good Classic physique from what we're seeing here. Very good. I think that he needs more overall size. I think that he needs more overall definition. Maybe be a little bit harder than what we're seeing here. But he has definitely a ton of potential. You can see that he's not the greatest poser either, kind of fumbling his foot placement, maybe spreading the legs out a little bit too far. But you can see that everything is here for this guy to be a future star in this division. Hitting really good Classic poses, I will say that. But his inexperience on the stage, I think, is shining through. But again, lots of potential out of Paul Canoe. Give him time. Give him time. Okay, next up, Andrea Canoli. Oh, sorry, Canoli. My God. It's not even that late here. Andrea Mamoli, ladies and gentlemen. Can't believe I just said that. Somebody's going to clip that. Very, very impressive at prejudging. The conditioning factor, I think, the best in the show so far, as well as having a very Classic taper, very good Classic presentation, hitting the poses like a true Classic physique competitor of this modern era. This guy is very, very dangerous, and that is why he is in the battle for top 3. For me, he's third place right now. For me, he's third place. In fact, part of me wants me to put him above Menegate and put him in second, which could very well happen. Look at the conditioning factor, really going through his poses very well, hitting plenty of Classic poses. He is commanding the stage, posing with, I think, authority is the best way to put it. Posing with authority. Very good routine. It is Mamoli. You're correct, Black Patron. It's Mamoli. I actually heard Wesley Vissers and Andrea pronounce it correctly on one of Wesley's videos recently. So it is Mamoli. Pretend you are Super Mario when you say it. Mamoli. Wow, you're right. That does work. Thank you. I'm not going to be able to unhear that ever now. But I do think that he's a serious threat to that third place spot right now. I think that he is really well balanced, great conditioning. And I said it during prejudging. What could this guy possibly do to show up better than what we saw at the prejudging? And the answer, honestly, for me was nothing. I don't think there's anything better that he could have done. He couldn't drop any water. He couldn't come in more conditioned. Stay the course. Maintain. For me, top 3. Okay. Mattheus Menegate, your presumed second place right now, standing next to Wesley Vissers in direct comparisons during the prejudging top 4 callout. Why is he walking like this? I don't think that works for him very well. Let's see what the routine is. Okay. I think a little bit improved in terms of overall definition. Arnold Schwarzenegger getting a picture with him. That's usually a very good sign that, he could end up doing well at this show. He is moving on that stage. He is everywhere. He is all over the place. I think he's rushing through some of these poses. But I do think that he is slightly improved from a definition standpoint. He really did miss an opportunity. He could have walked right up to Arnold and hit a couple poses, though. That's too bad. But regardless, more definition in the back, I think, as well. Needs to slow down just a little bit, although the crowd is loving it. So, I mean, there is something to be said for that. There is something to be said for that. But there's a balance between playing to the crowd and allowing the judges to really see your physique. Like, watch when he hits these poses. How long is he hitting it for? Not long enough, in my opinion. Needs to add on another at least second to second and a half to each pose that he hits. Just kind of rushing through it a little bit. Now, you see, he held that abs and thigh with the vacuum long enough, but that was one of the few poses that I think he actually held long enough. Not quite enough, but still, understandably so. This is why you see Menegate in that top 2 right now. Yeah, I feel like he's rushing. I agree, Camel. Those tats, in my opinion, are not a great idea. Yeah, I don't think that they serve him much justice either. Some tattoos guys get away with. A lot of the times they do. But I don't think that it serves Menegate very well. I agree. Vandu Pirate, great shoulders and arms and also condition, but I don't know. I feel Mamali is one step ahead of this guy. So do I. I agree. I think that he is as well. Herrera looked much better. I don't disagree with that either necessarily. I think Jorge Herrera should be considered a little bit more when it comes to the comparisons. But we'll see. We'll see where they place these guys. I think we're seeing some improvements from this competitor as well as compared to what we saw at the prejudging. Maybe a little bit drier overall, I think is fair to say. Hamstring separation looks better. Quad details looking better. He's got really good quads, actually. Some of the guys in this field are tiny. Yeah, some of them are. You're right. Very good. I think he definitely made improvements from prejudging. So that'll tell you guys what kind of difference some of these competitors can make depending on what improvements they need to make. And next up, you can hear the crowd already stirring. Already stirring for the next competitor to take the stage being Sam Sulek. The crowd going absolutely crazy for Sam Sulek. And Sam just loving every single minute of this. Now, one of the areas that Sam could improve, I think, overall is just being a little bit drier. Might be able to drop a bit of water. Let's see. Arnold Schwarzenegger getting a picture. I like how he hit that front double bicep to start with the vacuum. I think Sam does look, a little bit more separated. I think he did end up dropping some water. Sam he's playing to the crowd. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay. A little bit of flair to his posing routine. I like that. Needs to work on that back lat spread pose. But the definition is there. You see that Christmas tree in the lower back. This is one of his best poses, in my opinion, is that side tricep. Good vacuum. Needs to learn to flex his quads all the way through the abs and thigh. Needs to learn to flex his quads through this as well. But Sam looks very good. And he looks improved. He does look better than he did at prejudging. Sam should be respected for bringing in a new generation. He is. Sam is respected for that. Sam is definitely respected for that. Showed up here again. Very respectable. He has the crowd just loving it. Absolutely loving it. And to round out this individual presentation round, we have the two-time Arnold Classic champion, 2024, winning both the Arnold Classic Ohio on this very stage, as well as the Arnold Classic UK, Wesley Vissers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if Wesley has made any improvements from prejudging to the finals. I think we can expect a very entertaining posing routine from Wesley. He is very methodical. He takes a lot of time to really perfect his posing routine. And he looks like he is really on here. Kept that fullness in the legs. Maybe a little bit harder. Classic pose for Wesley. Very good. Now, see how long he's holding the pose? This is how it should be in Classic Physique. Let the judges see the pose. Hold it long enough. I mean, this guy's a master. And if you recognize the music, as I see one person in the chat did, you guys, smart move. I love it. I absolutely love it. First time watching, how soon do we hear the results? We should hear the results from Classic here very soon, actually. The Arnold typically moves very quickly. Look at that. Tons of definition. It looks like the hamstrings were a little bit more stripped out than what they were at prejudging. Wesley playing to the crowd. Moving into some Disturbed. I love it. Wesley's a big heavy metal fan. Big heavy metal fan. A lot of these European guys are. Yeah. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wesley is on, ladies and gentlemen. He is on. And it does look like his tan is a little bit darker. It looks like he got another coat of tan. He is nailing it. Back and forth on the stage, hitting those classic poses. Like I said, a little bit more definition, I think, is what we're seeing from Wesley Vissers, along with better color. Wesley Vissers, ladies and gentlemen, I think taking home the win for the Arnold Classic, which will be his third Arnold Classic title. Okay, confirmation round coming up for the Classic Physique division happening right now. The open prejudging has not happened yet. They are now going through the Classic Physique confirmation round. So let's see who's going to be in that top callout. If you guys were here for the prejudging, just as they were getting ready to do the comparisons, the live stream cutout around the entire world. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. Okay, they're bringing them out. Bringing them out. Okay, Vahid. This isn't the top callout. Okay, so this is going to be the battle from, I think, 5th to 10th. Is that right? Okay, let's see how they move them around. You can see Sam being one of the taller guys. So, yeah, this would be 5th to 10th. I'm just waiting for the fans to say that they want Sam to be compared in that top 4. But like I said, I think that between 6th and 8th would be excellent for Sam at this show. I think that would be a huge feather in his cap. He's obviously got improvements to make. But the fact that they're keeping the top 4 as it was, I think that, I mean, Jorge Herrera, right off the bat, I think did enough to be compared in those top callouts, but that's me. That's me. Maybe they'll do some other callouts and move these guys around a little bit. I don't know. They've got a little bit more time when it comes to the Arnold Classic, I think, to do more comparisons because there's fewer competitors per division. But we'll see what the judges decide. Sam isn't getting any gifts. No, he is not. And I don't think he should. I think Sam is being compared very fairly. And I think that's very good for bodybuilding. Okay, so that is your presumed 5th to 10th place, doing one round of comparisons. And so we will have your top four being Wesley Vissers, Matthias Menegate, Andrea Mamali, and Tim Angel. See where they move these guys around. I can see one move that's going to happen. There it is. I'd like to see Andrea moved into the center, though. I hope that they do 2 rounds where they at least give Andrea a chance to stand next to Wesley, because he did not get that chance in the prejudging. At least not to my knowledge. Front double, I would give that to Wesley all day. Side chest, look at how stripped out Wesley Vissers is, ladies and gentlemen. But that side leg of Mamali, I'm telling you. I know that he's getting a little bit outsized simply from a height standpoint here, but I think Mamali deserves to be compared to Wesley Vissers. I mean, if a guy like Terrence Ruffin can do well, like, look at the difference in the back double, which I think was Wesley's pose. Now, see how Wesley transitions through here? Abs and thigh, hits the vacuum, quads are in, no thigh gap. And now the favorite classic pose. They all had a pretty weak back double. Wesley takes it, I think. Back in line. Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve. You got to put Mamali next to Wesley. Kim Angel was up there for the top 4. I really think that's a missed opportunity. I really think that for the sake of one more round of posing, that Mamali should have been moved next to Wesley. And I think that we would have seen a very good comparison. That's a missed opportunity. But look, 3rd place, I think, is definitely a fair placing. And Menegate just, I don't think, had the conditioning nearly as much to stand next to a guy like Mamali. I mean, Andrea Mamali has a very similar physique, I think, in terms of overall flow as compared to Mike Somerfeld. So Mike was a favorite to win this show. Why isn't Mamali being rewarded? But I suppose regardless of that, we know who is going to be taking home the win here in Classic Physique. It will be Wesley Vissers being your champion. Does not make it any less exciting, in my opinion. We would have enjoyed to see Mike Somerfeld in this lineup, and I think that would have changed the outcome of this show a little bit. But that is it for Classic Physique. So the Classic Physique competitors are now leaving the stage. They will be back for the awards a little bit later on. It looks like there are going to be... Okay, so Men's Open coming up right now, you guys. Men's Open coming up. I can see Cannoli in second. Eric Teal. Yeah, don't let me live it down, man. Don't let me live it down. Coming up now will be the Men's Open, and we are getting right into it, ladies and gentlemen, starting out with Rafael Brandao. One of the questions with Rafael going into this show is, has he put on enough size to show notable improvements, and will he have the conditioning to go along with that added size? And from what I can see right now, he does look bigger, but I think that he could definitely be more conditioned. We're not seeing much conditioning when it comes to the lower body. Decent separation, I think, in the back overall. I've got a second screen, so I'm just looking over here, you guys. Some feathering in the quads. maybe letting his midsection go. Not seeing much definition in that midsection from Rafael Brandao. So I think he showed up as I expected. He looks soft. And when it comes right down to it, he's off. He looks soft. Yeah, Black Patron says it. Look, Rafa is off onto the next. And here it comes with Hadi Choopan. Of course, a lot of adversity coming into this show. Hadi having almost an entire country that was behind him now turning on him. So let's see how that's affected him or not. Like we're seeing that classic definition in the quads. Those abs are dug out. Looks like classic Hadi Choopan to me so far. Really good front lat spread as always. Really controlling that midsection. Hadi is a master of the midsection control. I would say maybe not as hard as what we typically see from Hadi. Like I think we're used to seeing more definition in the hamstrings from Hadi. But you can see, oh yeah, here we go. The striations through the chest. Like I said, the abs are in. This is a good version of Hadi Choopan, I think, all things considered. But I don't think this is the best version of Hadi Choopan that we have ever seen. As of right now, I think that Hadi maybe left the door open just a little bit. Just a little bit. Next up, Brandon Curry, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's see how Brandon's going to look. Brandon being a two-time Arnold Classic champion and really shutting up the haters at the Olympia with the improvements that he made in the legs. Let's see a front-on shot. I don't want to see the side-on shot anymore. There we go. Yeah, very impressive. Definitely still has the legs. One of the best side chests that you'll find in the Arnold Classic. Again, he looks hard. I don't think that we're seeing... Well, let's let him go through a few more poses, but you can see the legs look a little slight from the back for Brandon, but good definition, I think, overall. He's definitely hard. Oh, very, very hard. I think this is a good version of Brandon. I think it is a good version. Next up, Martin Fitzwater. So let's see if Martin can replicate what we saw at the EVLS Prague Pro, which was, in my opinion, a slam dunk victory. We want to see more arms. I think I want to see more size in the arms from Martin. I want to see that definition in the biceps. Decent separation, I think, in the biceps overall. I think he could have held that pose a little longer, but he knows it's not his strongest pose, so he's probably trying to just move through it. I'm still trying to decide whether or not this is a good version of Martin or not. It's not screaming fantastic to me. I think that I think he was probably better at Prague. But again, the live stream, sometimes it can be hard to tell. He's definitely big. I think he's put on size in the arms overall. Letting the midsection go a little bit. But I think there was a little bit of water still left on Martin there. Okay, Mohamed Foda. Now, this is a guy that has been in shape for quite some time. First thing I can see, he's not holding in that midsection. You've got to keep that midsection super, super tight the second you walk out. Now, look at the definition in the quads here. Not bad overall. I think he is bigger than what we've seen previously from him. Yeah, you're Black Patron. I said the same thing about that midsection, man. Same thing. Not seeing any definition through the glutes and hamstrings. Not seeing much definition through the back. Mohamed Foda said that his back was going to be improved. It looks like that is not necessarily the case. His back lat spread is better than his back double. But I don't think that we have seen nearly as much improvements as we were hoping from Mohamed Foda from the back. See that midsection? There's something going on with his midsection. His obliques are really spilling over. I think he's got some water to drop, and he's got some volume in his stomach that he needs to get rid of. Hassan Mustafa, always interesting to see Hassan Mustafa. I think, he's going to be one of the biggest guys to step on stage. Always in question is conditioning. Always in question is conditioning. Going through Ramadan, also a very difficult time for any bodybuilder to try to prep, let alone for the Arnold Classic. So that the quads on Hassan, again, I mean, they are massive, absolutely massive, but falling into the same category as where you would put Rubiel Mosquera, Nexzilla, not a lot of definition. Not seeing the conditioning from the back that we would hope for. The lower body, you can still see folds for the glutes tie into the hamstrings. Not a great pose, actually, to hit that back lat spread either. Decent hardness. Now, when he flexes down, quads are a little bit better, but overall, just they're huge, but they're not overly shapely. He doesn't have the greatest sweep to the quads, although they're massive. Classic Hassan Mustafa, I think, is the best way to put it. Is Hadi and Ramadan as well? I'm not sure about that, actually. Probably. And here we go. Andrew Jack, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we have been waiting to see. Now, Andrew has a huge opportunity here. Absolutely massive opportunity. Hadi did not show up as good as he could have. All of the competitors, I think, so far, you could say, have left the door open just a little bit. Was Andrew Jack able to definitively say he will be the Arnold Classic champion? Looks like he's got very good quad detail. Going right up into the hip, you can see that he's got the detail there. Very good arm separation. Midsection is tight. Like I said, Andrew doesn't have to be the most conditioned guy because he has a lot of tools in his arsenal, aside from just conditioning, that he can play on. Really good side chest, actually, compared to what I've seen from Andrew in the past. Now, I think this is classic what we expect to see from Andrew from the back. Not great, but the upper back, very, very good definition through the upper back. Very good. Could have more separation in the hamstrings, absolutely. The glutes could have more lines. But the overall frame, the overall shape, and the roundness in the back, Andrew he's on. I think that he's on more than anybody else. Very, very good, most muscular. Andrew Jack looks good, you guys. Andrew Jack looks really good. Atheist Nihilist Andrew's posing is so unserious. He has had to work on his posing. And Nick Walker taking the stage now. The first time we have seen Nick Walker on stage while he's done this self-coaching thing that he's been trying for this season. Do we have an on version of Nick Walker? You can see the detail in the quads. The midsection looks very, very tight. Good separation through the arms. Front double bicep look really good. Side leg is stripped out. Good definition through the hamstrings, quads, side chest, one of the best in the business. Now, Nick typically has very good conditioning through the hamstrings, and tonight is no different, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Walker has the most definition through the hamstrings, through the glutes. Nick is on. Look at that side leg. When you talk about a stripped out side leg in bodybuilding, that is Nick Walker. That side tricep, very, very good. Nick Walker is on, you guys. He's got to control that midsection. There we go. Wow. Nick is on, you guys. This is on. Nick is... Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Walker might be in contention for the top 2 right now. Nick's upper... So Zylo29 said Nick's back didn't look that good. I agree that I've seen more definition from Nick when it comes to the upper back. But I think that Nick is in the top 2 right now because the other guys left the door open. That is a legit path to victory in bodybuilding, you guys. Leaving that door open, that is a legit path to victory. Akeem Williams, what we've come to expect. I think that Akeem is looking good from a conditioning standpoint. Like you can see that side leg very well stripped out. The hardness, graininess, vascularity through that side chest. But Akeem falls down through the back. Okay, we all know that. Akeem does not have the best back. His back lat spread is better than his back double for sure, but still falls short. Akeem relies on his conditioning, and he relies on his posing. Even though his posing, I shouldn't even say that. It's not fantastic. Good most muscular. So, very interesting so far. Anthony Williams coming up next. I actually spoke with Anthony at about a week out of the show. He was feeling very, very good. If you guys followed this guy through his prep, he has been living, eating, breathing bodybuilding. This guy is definitely all in when it comes to bodybuilding right now. And this being his pro debut, I mean, you know, it's a tall order, very tall order. So standing on the stage, you can see the gaps that need to be filled in when it comes to Anthony's physique, but you can also see the potential. You know, you can also see the potential. He looks like he needs to put on more overall size, but the shape is definitely there. You can see the roundness of the quads, even when he hits the back shots, which is not something you see very often. Decent detail, I think. Definitely needs more development overall. But again, this being his pro debut, this is a tough lineup to make your pro debut in, you guys, without a doubt. But a really, really good competitor, I think, overall. And a guy that just loves bodybuilding. He's been very meticulous with his prep. He has all the tools in his arsenal to do well. Just needs some more time in order to develop. Okay, so that is the initial individuals for the men's open. Look at Nick. Nick's walking out like he is ready to win. Man. You think Anthony Williams beating Hassan and Akeem? He doesn't quite got the size on those guys. I don't know, man. It is a bodybuilding competition at the end of the day. Okay, so this is an interesting call-out. We have Raphael Brandao, Hadi Choopan, Brandon Curry, Martin Fitzwater, and then we have Mohamed Foda. You guys, my guess is that your top two is Andrew Jack and Nick Walker because of this. I think this is the battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, between third and seventh. I think this is the battle for third to seventh. All of these guys, every single one of them left the door open just a little bit in terms of conditioning, okay? All of them. Raphael Brandao, Hadi Choopan, Brandon Curry. Martin Fitzwater is actually a huge disappointment compared to what we saw at the EVLS Prague Pro. He doesn't have that hardness, that graininess. He doesn't have it. Might be getting better as he continues to pose. I will say that for Martin. I do think that's the case. Hadi Choopan through the upper body, still looking fantastic. Classic Hadi Choopan. But notably losing some of that condition in the lower body. One round of comparisons for what I think might be third to seventh. This is just a numerical call out? Oh, okay. Well, I think it was still 37th, in my opinion. Okay. Got Nick right in the center. Front double bicep. I think I would give to Nick. He's got the quad detailed. He's got the arms. Initial quarter turns. I would go with Nick for this as well. Martin moving to Antarctica. Nick not having that detail in the upper back, though, like you guys were saying, I do think that's the case. Nick doesn't have that detail in the upper back. But man, he has the lower body going for him. Usually the back double in the upper body for Nick is lights out. Usually that's a lights out shot. Oh, yeah. When you see Nick flex down on the quads, you can really see that definition come out. This is a Nick Walker show, you guys. Okay, next up, we've got Hadi, Martin, Andrew, and Nick. So, first call out, this is your presumed top four. Where are they going to place these guys? I think you're going to see Hadi on the outside, and you're going to see Martin on the outside. I think you're going to see Nick and Andrew in the center. Watch this, you'll see it. Nick and Martin switch. Black Patron, that's not necessarily true, brother. I didn't give Nick his props when it came to that last Olympia because he didn't deserve it. But this is different. Front double, I'd give to Nick. Front lat spread. I mean, that quad definition on Nick is undeniable, and I think he's hitting that pose better than he used to. Side chest. Tough to beat Nick in this one. Hadi looks very good in that side chest as well, though. Very good. Hadi's getting better as he poses. Back double. Yeah, there's more definition from Nick now. But look at Hadi. Not great for Hadi, I don't think, compared to what we're used to seeing. Andrew, very good in the upper body when it comes to the back. You're not seeing that Christmas tree from Hadi. You're not seeing that definition. I'd give that one to Nick when it comes to the back lat spread. Side tricep is going to be tough. See when Nick pulls in that midsection, looks really good. But Andrew has a very good side tricep as well, in my opinion. Despite Martin being in the center, he looks like doesn't look like he's posing with a lot of confidence. And the most muscular. Here we go. Man, the width of Andrew is undeniable, man. But Nick is more on than anyone in this lineup. I think they're going to move him into the center. Okay. Martin and Hadi switch. Another switch. We're going to see it. Andrew and Hadi switch. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see it. Front double. I think Hadi's getting better as he poses overall. But I think that Nick is really, really pulling this off. He's really improved that front lat spread. That's not necessarily a weak pose for him anymore. But Andrew Jack has one of the best front lat spreads in the business. It's tough. Side chest. You know, really good for Hadi too. Okay, back double. Let's see if Nick improves this back double any right now. A little bit more definition. Hadi looking better as well, I think. Andrew got a ton of detail in that back double. I'd probably put Martin in fourth overall. I don't think Martin flows very well in a back double. And Martin is really starting to sweat too. The waterworks are coming out on Martin Fitzwater. Back lat spread I'd give to Nick. Look at Martin sweating bullets, man. He is sweating hard. And he knows it. Nick, Hadi, Andrew, dry as a bone. Yeah, Martin really starting to wipe off. Nick has the best quad detail, although he has the worst midsection. Most muscular. I'd say between Nick and Hadi when it comes to the most muscular. Martin better hope to God they don't do any more comparisons. Martin, you got lucky there, brother. You got lucky there. Black Patron says, seriously, Martin has way too much food in him. It's obvious. I don't know what Martin did, but Martin, this is not the time to be hitting shots with Arnold. You don't want that kept, buddy. You're nothing but waterworks right now. Okay, next up. Okay, so your 4th through 10th. I think you're going to have Brandon in the center. I don't know. I'd say Brandon's going to end up in the center. I'm not sure who else. Okay, Mohamed and Brandon's being moved into the center. I can't see Hassan staying in the center. Yeah, Raphael being moved into the center. I think that's proper. Yep, I think that's proper. Front double. I'd give that to Brandon. Front lat spread. Raphael's pretty good in the front lat spread. It's really small looking midsection, but yeah, between him and Brandon, I'd say. But very, very good overall, you guys. Very good when it comes to that top 4, especially for Nick. Nick might win this show, you guys. Don't kid yourselves. But when it comes to this callout, I think Brandon clearly is ahead of the pack. Brandon should have been in the first callout. I don't disagree. I think that I could have stood to see a 5-man callout and move these guys around a little bit more. A lot of people might be asking why Nick wasn't necessarily put in the center, and I think that Nick deserved to be in the center. But when it comes to a 4-man callout, Nick did get compared to, he got compared to Andrew, he got compared to Hadi. Didn't get compared to Martin because I think Martin is in 4th. You don't necessarily need to be in the center when it comes to a 4-man callout for you to really be compared in terms of who's going to be at the top of that top 3 or top 2. It might be a little bit more of an indicator to be in the center, but it's not necessarily definitive of what your placing is going to be. England 3398. Tomorrow, Hadi will be much, much harder. I expect that he will. Yes. Brandon should jump Martin. I don't disagree with that necessarily. I think that Brandon has more definition, although he may not have as much size as Martin. At the end of the day, this is open bodybuilding. But I'd like to see the comparison. All the more reason that Brandon should have been in the top callout. Black Patron says, I honestly want to hear WTF Boss of Outlaw had Martin doing to end up looking this bad. Well, Martin, when the waterworks on stage, I mean, these guys just did the EVLS Prague Pro where they clearly have the formula. Clearly have the formula. What happened? What happened with Martin Fitzwater? The profuse sweating on stage, the, I think, not great posing execution. His side tricep, I think Martin looked like he struggled with that. His midsection was not in control. I was not overly impressed with Martin Fitzwater. I don't think anybody was. And sweating, I haven't seen someone sweat on stage like that in quite some time. This is the same thing that happened with Martin in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he screwed up. Mark Roberts, 2964. Nick looking great, but against the other competition. Well, when you talk about against the other competition when it comes to Nick Walker, Nick has definitely the most lower body definition of anybody in this lineup. Oh, they're bringing out the top four again. Stefan is not a good coach. Nah, come on. Like, Stefan is a good coach. Let's not kid ourselves. But Martin, I think, can be a difficult athlete to work with sometimes. And here comes Nick into the center, ladies and gentlemen, which is where we were expecting. Front double. Again, I would give this to Nick. Andrew looks like he needs some oil. You know, Andrew looks like he's not. He just looks very like flat in terms, like matte. You know. Good side chest for Hadi, for Andrew, for Nick. Looks like Martin got a chance to towel off. Look at the difference. Yeah, see, Nick's getting a little bit more detail in that upper back now. Whatever happened originally, I don't know. But he's getting a little bit more now. I'd give the back double to Nick. Back lat spread. Tough one. Nick's good through the lower body, but Hadi was good through the upper body. So was Andrew. Side tricep, very good for all these guys, I think. Not Martin necessarily. Looks like Martin's getting a little frustrated. Andrew Jack with one of the best abs and thigh of all time, in my opinion. Martin is starting to sweat again, you guys. Let's see if they put him through another round. They are. They're going to put him through another round. And they should. These guys aren't sure where to stand. Okay. So again, being able to compare. Okay, so Hadi and Andrew switch. So Martin being compared to Andrew is the big takeaway here. Front double. Martin's not even flexing his quads here. You can see the teardrop, but that's it. I think he's afraid of sweating too profusely again. Front lat spread again. Very good for Nick, really flexing them pecs. Hard to deny that detail in the quads. Side tricep, that's an odd call. Okay. They're not turning to the back? Okay, this is different. Abs and thigh. No, I think Hadi's got the best midsection. Andrews is the best taper, but Hadi has the best set of abs, I think. That makes sense. Look at how bad Martin is sweating, you guys. Like, it draws the eye. Back double. Hadi's really good in the upper back. Really good. But he is notably missing that conditioning in the lower body. Nick, on the other hand, is not. Stripped out hamstrings and glutes. Okay, most muscular. Here we go. Here we go. Look at Martin's. Man, like I said, I haven't seen waterworks like this in quite some time. Most muscular. I would go with Nick. There you go. That is the prejudging for the men's open, ladies and gentlemen. And there is a lot to unpack when it comes to this prejudging. Some of the questions that we had definitely had answered, and some disappointments as well as some surprises. Very, very impressive when it comes to this Arnold Classic lineup. Very exciting. Very exciting, you guys. So now we will have the awards for. We'll have awards for wellness, for fitness, and for classic physique. So, time for a new poll. 756 votes strong. Andrew Jack with 45%, Hadi Choopan 27%, Nick Walker with 21%, and Martin Fitzwater with 7%. Let's see what you guys think now. Who is ahead after prejudging? Interject. Exact same order. Hadi Choopan. Spell Bro. There we go. Nick Walker. And we'll put Martin here. There are a lot of Martin fans out there. Okay, so the fitness competitors are taking the stage, and we will have the awards for fitness right now. We've got a new poll in the chat. You guys get into the poll. Let me know what you guys think after prejudging. Very, very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out with you guys. Get into the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Cinder Ashen says Nick was the best overall. Hadi was way downsized. Gary D210. Dave Thomas 7881. Martin having words with Nick on the way off stage. I would love to know what he said. Probably nothing that was positive. Probably nothing positive. But you know what? Nick wouldn't give a shit right now. Nick just walked off the Arnold stage potentially winning. Don't kid yourselves. Don't kid yourselves. I know Nick's midsection is definitely not, the ideal situation. But the control that Nick has over the midsection compared to the definition in the quads, the definition in the hamstrings and glutes, nobody else had it. Nobody else had it. But is it going to be close? I think it's going to be close. And remember, you guys, there is $750,000 on the line. $750,000, okay? Think about how life-changing that is for the next competitor coming in. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, 115 votes so far. 54% for Nick Walker. 35% for Andrew Jack. 11% for Hadi. 0 for Martin Fitzwater. Understandable. Yeah, understandable. Martin Fitzwater definitely disappointing here. Lee Haney on stage. Very good. Let's see what you guys think. I'll take a blocky waist over synthol users all day. I think a lot of people would. Nick's hamstring was crazy, massive, and detailed. Absolutely it was. Crazy detail in those hamstrings compared to everybody else. Now, Janjet169. Very, very interesting question. Does today or tomorrow count more? That is open to interpretation, I think, when it comes to bodybuilding. At the Arnold Classic, I think most people, I think, would agree that finals matters more. But the momentum that you can carry into finals from prejudging does make a difference. It depends on how you show up at finals. It depends on how you show up. The thing is, these guys all have an opportunity to massively improve from today to tomorrow. Hadi Choopan, if you go down the list, what can Hadi do to improve? He can have more definition in the quads and hamstrings and glutes. He can be a little bit fuller, I think, although he was pretty full. So Hadi can make improvements. Andrew as well. Andrew just having some oil on. Just having some oil will make a big difference for him. Martin, there's a lot that Martin can do. Reduce the volume in his stomach. Drop some water. There's significant improvements that can be made there in a short period of time. And it could happen. It could happen. Brian Mathis 357 asks, how many contests do you have to be in and win before getting invited to the Olympia? For the Open, it's one. You win one pro show and you have punched your ticket to the Olympia. Metal Machine 80, Martin won the most sweat category. If there was an award for it, Martin would take it. And I think he took it to the point, just disappointing, to say the least. All of them lacked oil apart from Nick. They did. Yeah, they did. Martin had the sweat going for him, I guess. If Martin fixes his water problem, can be in a better position by tomorrow. We know Hadi always improves the next day. Yep, absolutely. Arnold does not stack prejudging points value higher, unlike the Olympia. It depends on how it's going to go when it comes to how these guys are going to show up with improvements. So again, looking at the poll, almost 200 votes so far in a very short period of time. 50% say Nick Walker will win the Arnold Classic so far. Andrew Jack with 37%, Hadi Choopan with 12%, and Martin Fitzwater with 1%. Very telling of how you guys feel right now. But there is more to come. There's definitely more to come. Martin knows he's not top three. Martin is a guy that you can see get visibly frustrated, I think, on stage more so than others. He doesn't have the professionalism of what some of these other guys have. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. He has a reputation at this point. Brendan Cooney, 5267. I would like to see Brandon fighting for the top 4. I think he looked better than Martin tonight. I would have liked to see Brandon in that comparison as well. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that. Maybe we'll see that comparison tomorrow. Chris Pryor, 8259. As of now, Nick, Andrew, Hadi, Brandon, and Martin. Brandon over Martin. Yeah, I think a lot of people want to see that. Black Patron says, how shitty most of the competitors looked should motivate Mike Somerfeld to move into the Open. Excellent point, sir. Excellent point. Because Mike, now let's think about what Mike would have showed up like in comparison to what we just saw. Mike definitely would have had the definition, definitely would have had the conditioning over these guys, just wouldn't have had the size. So it would have been interesting. Josh the Truth Seeker says, Nick, Andrew, Hadi, Brandon. A lot of people want Brandon in that 4th place spot. Very interesting. Yeah, God, Derek was rough last year, but I think in general it was a weaker Olympia. Yeah, the Olympia is one thing for sure. We'll see what we end up with this year. Great midsection. Nick is not in first. He did not ever occupy the middle or right other than the comparison. Well, like we spoke about before, in a 4-man callout, maybe that doesn't matter as much because he was still getting the comparison to Hadi and Andrew. No, undoubtedly. And when they did the second call out, they did put Nick in the center, and he remained in the center. So Nick did get his chance in the center. Black Patron says, honestly, feel like the caliber of physiques in the open don't deserve the prize money that Arnold is giving them. This is one show that I can say the competitors showed up. How do I say this? More competitors showed up off than I think in recent memory of any other shows that I can really remember. Guys that we expected to be 100% on, like Hadi Choopan, Martin, I think a lot of people did expect to be on after what we saw at the Prague Pro, which was not that long ago. He didn't show up. Andrew was good, I think as good as we expected, because Andrew doesn't have to be the most conditioned guy. Doesn't. But Nick was ultra conditioned. Ultra conditioned. So they're now bringing the wellness competitors out on stage to give the awards, you guys, and then we will have the Classic Physique Awards, where I expect Wesley Vissers to be taking home his third Arnold Classic title. Community guidelines 1, 2, 3, 2. Why are we talking about Mike Somerfeld like he's been cheating for the past 2 years? Or I got to scroll up here. Then now they caught up with him. Mike's never made weight. Yeah, I don't like that either, honestly. I don't. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think that Mike has some serious making up to do with me as a fan of bodybuilding. I don't like what's been happening with Mike Somerfeld now for 2 shows in a row. And I think that he just behind the scenes doesn't have the attitude that people want to see in a top competitor in Classic Physique. Yeah, Mike Heightfield. I like that. Everyone is off but Nick. And this is just it. Everyone is off, I think, but Nick. That says something. Hadi looks soft and small. Not through the upper body. I think through the upper body from the front, Hadi looked like as good as he usually does. Through the back, we didn't see that crisp Christmas tree from Hadi. Definitely not in the hamstrings and glutes. Left a lot to be desired. Brian Mathis, who do you think would win if Ronnie Coleman was how he used to be, Jay Cutler was how he used to be, and Nick Walker? Ronnie, Jay, then Nick. No one showed up as conditioned as Nick. His hamstrings were insane. I think he won every pose from the back and the side. I agree. I really do. And the most muscular, I would give that to Nick as well. Front double, I think I would give to Nick. Front lat spread, I'd give to Andrew. Abs and thigh, I'd give to Andrew. The Classic Finals already took place. We will have the awards right after wellness for the Classic Finals. The return of Martin Fitzwater. I like that one. Josh the Truth Seeker. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we will have the awards for Classic Physique in just a few short minutes. Nobody will ever come close to Ronnie. I agree. Not in our lifetime anyway. Ronnie Coleman, 2003, still undefeated to this day. There is a reason why they call him the king. Enigma 1490. Also, as Classic is coming up, it's funny. I almost feel proud of Sam for how far he's come. He sure got a long way to go, but finishing 7th or 8th presumably would be such an achievement. I agree. Sam showed up respectable. Crizzo should have been here. If Crizzo was here, I think it would have made for a very interesting show. I think he'd be fighting for a top 3 spot. Yeah. Hunter, same thing. Top 3 spot, I think he'd be fighting for. Someone said Martin Sweatwater. Yeah, that's pretty much the size of it. Alexis did make 3rd place. Yes, I saw that. I thought she was going to win. Yeah, I thought she was going to win. Gary D210, great stream tonight. Thanks. Thank you for tuning in, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Really great to see all you guys here. Appreciate you guys getting in the chat. You know, this is what it's all about for me. This is what it's all about, being a fan of bodybuilding, you guys. I wonder what Arnold Black Patron says. I wonder what Arnold thinks about the caliber of this year's Open. I'm sure it wasn't overly positive. I don't think Arnold is impressed. No, I don't think Arnold is impressed. Metal Machine 80, with the new muscle targeting drugs on the horizon and minimal side effects in comparison to classic gear, I don't know. We might see someone beyond Ronnie eventually. I think that it was more than the enhancements when it came to Ronnie Coleman. You remember Ronnie before he took any gear? Different level. A one in a one in a generation, one in a century, one in a lifetime, one ever. I don't know if we'll ever see another Ronnie Coleman. I don't know if we'll ever see it. Dave the Attic, love the stream, love the community. Thank you very much for being here, brother. We have some good chats behind the scenes as well. You guys want to message me on Instagram and talk bodybuilding, feel free. Real Talk Great community tonight, man. Been a pleasure going to the stream, doing the Open Finals. Of course, I'm doing the Open Finals tomorrow. You guys can tune in right here on EP09 Bodybuilding. We will 100% be going live for the Arnold Classic Finals. We have to see who is going to take home that title. As of right now, the way that you guys see it, it's going to be Nick Walker. Poll results being 49% in favor of Nick, 36% for Andrew, 14% for Hadi, and a 1% for Martin Sweatwater, Martin Fitzwater. Sorry about that. Make sure you go to biomuscle.com. Use code EP10 at checkout. These aminos are the only thing keeping me going. That's not true. You guys are keeping me going. The excitement of the competition is keeping me going. I love it. I'd love to see Andrew win. I really like the guy Enigma 1490. I would like to see Andrew win as well, but I want to see Andrew win when it is very much deserving. And Andrew left the door open a little bit in terms of conditioning. Now, I have been very adamant in saying that you don't need to be the most conditioned guy on stage, and I will stand by that. But when you have a guy, one thing that we didn't say is when you have a guy like Nick Walker show up with that crazy lights out conditioning and everyone else is off, which they were, you can stand out. You can stand out in a very positive way. And I think that's what we saw from Nick. What do you want to ask me, Freedom Fightress? Maybe the first years, but I think now it's from sponsors and tickets. Not sure. I'm not sure what the question is. I'm happy to answer it. I'm pretty damn sure that Arnold has put a lot of his own money into this show. I'm pretty sure as well. I mean, look, through various businesses that Arnold has, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, yeah, Arnold's put his own money into this show. Now, with that being said, you better believe that this show makes money. This show 100% makes money. Arnold doesn't work for charity. I think he would for bodybuilding, but I don't think that he does. This show makes money. Arnold goes home with millions, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. But regardless, who pays the prize money for the Arnolds? The show does. You guys, the show definitely generates enough money to pay the prize money. Have you guys ever been to the Arnold Expo? I haven't been. But I mean, yeah, the show itself pays the prize money, for sure. Arnold doesn't have to put his own money into it. The show makes it. I don't know, but surely you'd agree that drug use / PED use is safer than ever now. I would agree with that. Yep. There's more knowledge, there's more resources when it comes to wellness clinics and TRT clinics and coaches, and AI, you could throw that in there. You know, there's more knowledge out there for sure. Okay, the best poser award is coming up as well. Who's going to take the best poser award? Who do you guys think? Let's see who's going to end up taking the best poser award. Who's it going to be? Ooh, Andrea Mamoli takes home the best poser award. What is that, 10 grand? I think that's 10,000. Andrea Mamoli taking home the best poser award. Very well deserved. He had a fantastic posing routine. He's a guy that took his time. It is $10,000. He took his time going through the poses. You know, he did a fantastic job. And in my opinion, should be second place. We'll see if they place him ahead of Menegate. But yeah, fantastic. We've got Jim Nuts 6534 that is losing his mind in this chat. Yeah, this guy is getting a timeout. There, 30-minute timeout, bro. Thanks for catching that, Black Patron. Appreciate you being the admin here, brother, or being moderator rather. I really enjoy the NPC amateur shows. Oh yeah, there's some really good competitors coming up the line there too. And the Classic Physique competitors are coming back on the stage. We will find out who is the Classic Physique champion of 2026. And I think we all know who that's going to be at this point. But it's very, very well deserved. Very well deserved. I don't think the Arnold is making that much. He is giving a free live show. Yeah, but you see, yes, the live stream is free. But look at the sponsors that they have for the live stream, okay? Gym Reapers, I cannot imagine the money that Gym Reapers is putting in to be the sponsor for the live stream, okay? I think that, despite having a free live stream, I still think this expo makes a ton of money. I think that this more than pays for the prize money, in my opinion. Okay. Who's going to be fourth? Kim Angel? Oh, fifth place. Oh, Nexzilla giving out an award. That's interesting. Jorge Herrera taking fifth place. I could have placed him higher. Yeah, I could have placed him in fourth. I think he showed up with fantastic conditioning. I think he had great balance from top to bottom. He had a good posing routine. I could have given him fourth. Yeah, I was surprised that Nexzilla was here too. Get on stage, bro. Fourth place is indeed Kim Angel. I think that Kim Angel should have been fifth. I don't know what the judges saw in him over Herrera. But top four, congratulations. So now we're going to look at what the placings are going to be for your top three. Lee Haney giving out this award. Next Hill is still recovering from a hernia surgery. Yeah, I know. Cannoli. You guys aren't going to let me live that go. Andrea Mamoli taking third place. I could have had him in second. Sam is outside the top six. I think Sam was more like seventh or eighth. So, Andrea Mamoli taking third place at this Arnold Classic. This guy is going to do very well, I think, in the future in Classic Physique. A well-deserved third place. Could have given him second. Yeah, Davey Addick, garbage call. I personally would have given him second. I think he did deserve it. Yeah, Vandu Pirate, exactly. He did deserve second, in my opinion. And so the runner-up being Mateusz Menegate, giving Wesley Vissers his third Arnold Classic title. Now, for Mateusz Menegate, like I said, I think I would have had him in third. He didn't have near the conditioning. Not that it's all about conditioning in Classic, but I just think that balance from top to bottom, the back detail, these are all things that I think that, like the abs, the quad detail, I think that Mateusz Menegate should have taken third. That's my opinion. But as we all expected, our champion for the Classic Physique division will be Wesley Vissers for his third Arnold Classic title. Got to be very exciting for Wesley to get that third title. And this gives him a ton of momentum for whatever he decides to do for the rest of the 2026 season. He is, I believe, going to go on to do the Arnold UK. And a very deserved victory. Wesley Vissers taking the win. And again, you guys, a personal favorite of mine. I'm very, very glad that Wesley Vissers ended up taking home the win here. I think that it was very, very well deserved. And I just think that when it comes to being the definition of the golden era physique, Wesley embodies it more than anybody, not just with his physique itself, but his emphasis on wanting to really embody that golden era physique. He does an excellent job just all around. Not the first time that he's going to have a conversation with Arnold Schwarzenegger. In my opinion, won't be the last. And I think Arnold is very happy with this decision. I think he's very happy with this Classic Physique champion. Wesley is very deserving. Arnold takes his trophy. Yeah, here, I'll hold that for you. Right? A very deserved. Give us the 3/4 turn back host. I would have hit that for Arnold. Sam can't compete at the Olympia. No, Sam has to win a show. Here we go. Arnold having a few words with Wesley. Yeah, Arnold's asking where he got the lats, and Wesley saying he got it from watching Arnold do T-bar rows. We don't know where Sam placed. Yes, in Classic, you do need to win 2 shows now, yes. Arnold underselling himself. Well, Arnold has nothing to prove. This is his show. A very... Not bad. He's got a good Arnold impression. Not just physique-wise. So it seems like Arnold having a little bit more of a casual conversation with Wesley, given the fact that Wesley has won this title before. And, Wesley, I think, being very charismatic in his victory. Yeah, very charismatic. A very well-deserved victory for Wesley Vissers, winning his third Arnold Classic title, you guys, and still has so much gas left in the tank to come in and win the Arnold Classic UK. I think that this is a fantastic victory. Not a lot of stiff competition for Wesley, we will say that. This is kind of like a, what was it, 2024 M-Pro Classic, I think, when Michael Grizzo came in, and there was really no other competition for him. Mike Somerfeld dropping out made a huge difference here. But the fact of the matter is, Wesley was leaps and bounds ahead of all of these guys. He was the clear winner now that Mike Somerfeld was not in the lineup. But that takes nothing away from the fact that Wesley showed up at his absolute best. He showed up shredded to the bone. He showed up with improved legs. This is exactly what we wanted to see from Wesley Vissers. And this does put him on a good trajectory to do well at the Mr. Olympia. Fantastic victory for Wesley Vissers, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. A lot of support for Wesley in the comments. Understandably so. He did a fantastic job. Definitely deserved to win. And I can't wait to see him on stage again. So when do we think we'll see Sam again? We don't know. No, we don't know. I think he'll compete several more times this season, personally. He might. He might. He might take the time to, put on some more size and, come back bigger and better. Which I think he could use a season or two of doing just that. We don't know where Sam placed. Presumably 7th or 8th. Oh, and Sam's doing the UK. Sam is doing the Arnold UK? Is that confirmed? We got a comment from Zach ASF saying that Sam is doing the UK. Okay, Metal Machine says he's doing the UK Arnold as well. There you go. Sam Sulek will be at the Arnold Classic UK. We will see him on stage yet again. Fantastic. I mean, why not? He's already in shape. It's within a reasonable time frame. There's improvements that he can make in terms of his posing. I think it's a good idea. I don't think he'll be any more competitive at the Arnold UK. But I do think it's a good idea for him to do the show. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Black Patron says, I wonder what Arnold could do to get more competitors to apply for the Arnold. I mean, if the money doesn't draw these guys in, what will? $750,000? You should have every top-level pro absolutely trying to knock the door down in order to get in on this show. And I think that is kind of overshadowed by the fact that a lot of these guys did show up notably off. This is probably the most off that I've seen some of the top guys in the lineup really ever look. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat right now, Krishan from Goat Fitness. Welcome, Krishan. Thank you for being here, brother. Goat Fitness, ladies and gentlemen, one of the OGs. You guys all know Goat Fitness. Come on. I think Nick has first, but for second, it has to be Hadi. So, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what just happened in the open division. Again, congratulations to Wesley Vissers. Wesley wins his 3rd Arnold Classic title. We will see him at the UK, possibly to win his 4th. So, what do you guys think when it comes to the Open? Nick Walker showing up in, I think, better shape than anybody, honestly. So, let's just see what we got. Let us take a look at some of the higher quality images that might exist out there. Okay. High quality images, I'm sure, are out there for the prime taking right now. Beyond the Stage TV saying Hadi is on. Well, he must be seeing something that I'm not. Must be seeing something that the rest of us are not seeing. Because I think Hadi was a little bit off. Andrew Jacked is on. Same thing that we're hearing from Beyond the Stage TV. I mean, he is there in person, so he would know better than I would, I think, but I mean, Andrew was on for Andrew, for sure. But again, the live stream doesn't always tell us everything, you guys. You know, the live stream can certainly be deceiving. Saying that about these guys. The mutant. Yeah, Nick Walker in excellent, excellent shape. Get to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Yeah, they just showed on screen Sam was 8th. Okay, so Sam Sulek taking 8th place. Now we know. Enigma 1490, later gang, good night. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you being here. Sean Turner 7064, good point. If Nick was shredded in the live stream, he must look crazy insane in person. I agree. Yeah, Evogen did drop Hadi. Yeah, that did happen. Very close to the show. So, final call out here. Sam was only 8th. Yeah, I expected Sam between 6th and 8th. That's all right. I think that's proper for what he showed up with. Sam needs a coach. I think it's too early to say if Sam needs a coach or not. Everybody said that Nick needed a coach and he shows up like this. So I don't necessarily think that's the case. Andrew still has glutathione problems, and Nick seems to get winded in the congregate confirmation rounds. How do you think the prejudging would have went if Derek showed up? Oh God, I don't know. The judges do like to award Derek. I don't know. Top 2, presumably. Matt and Andrew were tied at the end. Matt and Andrew. I don't know. Nick coaching himself looks like the right call here. Who knew? Yes, it does. Nick and Hadi are definitely first and second, but it'll depend on back and biceps tomorrow for sure. I agree. I think that these guys have a lot of ground that they can make up at this point. Whether or not they make up that ground, we'll see. Nick can make some improvements in terms of the fullness in the upper back. It was a very strange thing to see Nick not have that detail in his upper back. But as he continued to pose, that detail did come out more, although it still wasn't as prominent as what we're used to seeing from Nick Walker. So I did find that a little bit strange. There was only 10 guys in Classic. So let's see if we can find some comparisons. The Organicus has posted. Yeah, some good comparison shots here. That's good. Heavily edited, to say the least, but should give us a decent idea of what we're looking at. I'd like to start with a front double. But we don't have it. Okay. Oh, side chest. You guys tell me, who do you got in the side chest? Side chest for me, looking at this, looks like either Nick or Andrew. Nick's legs look improved. Yeah, I think he's got well, the most definition from a size standpoint. I don't know about that, but he's got good balance from upper and lower. Yeah, the pictures look washed. Organicus really edited these photos down. Yeah, a lot of support for Nick. So Nick in the side chest, that's the general consensus from what I'm seeing. There's like 6 comments in a row there. Nick taking the side chest. Side tricep, a little bit more interesting. What do you guys think for the side tricep? Look at Hadi's midsection. Very, very good. Hadi's midsection, that is classic Hadi Choopan right there. Absolutely classic. I think Nick looks very good in the side chest in the side tricep as well, though. Martin, poor posing execution, no tricep. Andrew has never really posed this very well. That side leg for Nick, I think I would, and the fact that he's pulling in his midsection as well as he is, like midsection wise, it's easily Hadi, but physique from top to bottom, I'd go with Nick. Yeah, I would go with Nick. So keep going shot by shot. Abs and thigh. What do you guys think? Nick? Andrew? Hadi? Remember, it's not just the abs, but you've also got the thighs to consider. It's hard to deny Andrew in this shot. Andrew's very hard to deny in this shot, but you know, Nick's got the quads, Hadi's got the midsection as well. Martin is a clear fourth, I feel. Nick Drew, I like that. Nick brought his legs up. Now, it's funny. This is a situation where I think we're seeing more favor for Nick than what we've seen in the past, where traditionally Nick would not be even considered in an abs and thigh. And you know, the abs are in. Now, Black Patron, I don't think so, man. Martin's midsection is washed out here in comparison to Nick. Nick's abs are dug out. The quads are dug out. Martin's quad is a little bit better here, but I think Martin's a clear fourth. But I would give this one to Andrew, in fairness. After that, you could toss it around between Hadi and Andrew for me personally, or Hadi and Nick, rather. Leaning slightly more toward Hadi, I think. But again, this isn't a shot that you'd expect a guy like Nick Walker to win. It should be Brandon rather than Martin. Yeah, we're hearing that a lot. Back lat spread. What do you guys think? Back lat spread. Looks like Hadi's got that definition in the upper back. Andrew was very good in the upper back. Nick, lower body wise, dominating everybody. Dugout hamstrings, lines in the glutes. From top to bottom. I don't know, Hadi's wide as a house here. But Nick just destroys everyone with that lower body. It's not even comparable. It's not even comparable. I'd give this one to Nick. Yep, I would give this one to Nick. Andrew's got a good upper back, but he is still lacking in definition in the lower body. Nick most certainly is not. But Hadi's got some very good detail there as well. More than Nick did. You know, Andrew and Hadi, I think, had more detail than Nick. So what it comes down to is the comparison of the lower body, or not necessarily it comes down to it, but a consideration could be, if you look at the discrepancy between Nick, Andrew, and Hadi in the lower body, and then Nick, Andrew, and Hadi in the upper body, which is further away? And I think that in the lower body, Nick is way past these guys, as opposed to the upper body, where the other two are definitely past him, but not way past him. So I think for that reason, I would have to give it to Nick. Yeah, I would have to give it to Nick. The back lat spread, I'd give to Nick. Did Andrew try to come in too heavy? Maybe, maybe, but I don't think so. I think Andrew was on par for what we've come to expect. It is so. Juice Lee TV. It's not a hamstring competition. It's called a back lat spread, and I agree with you. I agree. But when you look at the difference, in the overall pose from top to bottom, who's the most conditioned? Who's showing the most detail? Who's got the best balance? I mean, balance wise, you might say Andrew actually, but I think it is hard to deny. This is kind of a weird angle too, so I don't know. Let's keep going. Back double. A little bit more interesting for all these guys in the back double. And maybe this is a situation where the live stream didn't necessarily translate over to what was seen on stage. But in the back double, again, you're talking about the same situation. The lower body versus upper body comparison. I want to know what you guys think. Who takes the back double? Nick, Andrew, Hadi, Martin. Martin's a little bit better in this back double, it looks like. A little bit more hamstring. The definition there. This pose is harder to judge. I like Andrew in the back double. Nick. You don't see Nick winning the back double. You're blind as can be. If I had to say, I would say Nick. Yeah, I would go with Nick in the back double. Your live stream is probably not playing Mind Your Business 8606 because the show is over. Don't think that they're streaming anymore. No. The show is over for the day. Back double goes to Nick. Okay. Most muscular. Who takes the most muscular? Good question. EP, is this the best Nick to date in your opinion? Ooh, that's a really good question. It wasn't the best Nick I saw from the back in terms of detail in the upper body. So, no, I think Nick hit a serious standard at that 2021 Arnold Classic, but I think tomorrow there is opportunity for Nick to potentially say that this was his best ever. I do think that this was better than Pittsburgh. I do think this was way better than the Olympia. So, but people I think often forget about 2022 and 2023 Nick Walker at the Olympia as well. Those were very good versions of Nick Walker. But anyway, for this most muscular, what do you guys got? It's getting a little bit closer between Nick and Andrew in the poll. 713 votes, 42% for Nick Walker, 34% for Andrew Jack, 22% for Hadi Choopan. So it is getting a little tighter. John Turner says it's a toss-up. I think I'd give Hadi the most muscular. Not normally a fan of Nick, but he looks good here. Complete, a bit blocky as usual, but he's crisp and the tan is good. Good oil, enough to win in this if he holds his condition tomorrow. Good points all around. Nick needs to hit this pose more like Hadi. Ooh, you think if Nick actually had the fists together as opposed to holding one wrist that it might work better for him? It might. I actually gave a friend that advice once that was competing in a show. He was going for the most muscular and he would hold his hands kind of sideways and it would make one arm look differently sized than the other. So when he actually did the hands clasped, I believe he did, his arms did look a lot better. So kind of a mixed review here between Nick and Hadi as to who won this shot. I think it is a little bit of a toss-up for me. Part of me does want to go with Nick. So let's see. Let's run through it again. You could say between Nick and Hadi here, whatever way you want to go. Back double, we said Nick, so that's a point. Back lat spread, a lot of people said Nick more than anybody else. That's a point. Abs and thigh, I think Andrew was pretty much overwhelmed. Well, not overwhelming, but I think Andrew was a general consensus. Not Nick anyway, so you can give a point there. 2-1. Side tricep, that went to Nick, so 3-1. Side chest went to Nick, so that's 4-1. That's 5 out of 8 poses. That's 5 out of 8. Nick taking 4 of them. See if we can find those other poses. Maybe BTS put something else up by now. No comparisons there. See who's the best BB. Here we go. Couple of comparisons here. Front double we haven't looked at. Front double. Who takes it? Who do you guys want to give the front double to? I think Black Patron, he's referring to Martin. It's not Matt. From the side, Nick is hard to beat. Side leg, so thick, it really is. Nick was dominating, I think, from the side. But from the front double, what do you guys think? Really had Nick at 4 poses to 1 for Andrew at this point. Yeah, that right leg for Hadi, you can really see the difference now. I think is way more noticeable than what it was in the past. Front double, I do like Andrew. But Nick, just those quads, man, so much further ahead than everybody. So much further ahead. Midsection, he is keeping pretty tight. Very tight, actually. But the arms being comparable to, I think, Andrew and Hadi. I think I'd give a soft victory to Nick. Yeah, I think I would. But it's very close in this shot. Just because Nick has that superior conditioning, man. And he is really holding this midsection well in this pose. We saw the back double. Abs and thigh, most muscular. We saw that. Front lat spread. Front lat spread. Hard to deny Andrew jacked in that front lat spread, man. No way Nick wins the front double. There's a way. There is a way. Look at those quads. Come on. He's got some of the best arms in the game. There's a way. Midsection he kept tight. I think there's just so many people that get hung up on how bad Nick's midsection is that even when it's good, people think it's bad. That front double, it's good. Like I said, it's all about the control in the poses, between the poses. Nick does a good job controlling that midsection. Really does. But for the front lat spread, again, improved for Nick. But Hadi looks very round and bubbly in the upper body. So does Andrew. Zach ASF. Yeah, Nick hella improved his garbage front lat. Yeah, he did. Saying it like that, it's like the other way around for most Nick fans. It's like Nick's midsection doesn't exist. Nah, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't deny that Nick's midsection is not the best on stage. It's one of the worst on stage, really. But when you're going shot for shot and the control that he has, I mean, look, Nick's midsection looks small. I mean, how can you say that's a bad midsection in this shot? You can't. Not in this shot. So when it comes to the mandatory poses, Nick has a good front double, man. And he's got the best quads on stage. He's got arguably the best arms. Andrew's arms, I might prefer a little bit. The overall silhouette of Andrew, I absolutely prefer. A little bit more of a toss-up. But that conditioning of Nick is just, man, it can't be denied. Anyway, front lat spread. I don't know. Let's move on. Side chest. We saw the side chest. We saw the side tricep. That's it. Okay. Okay. Nick's waist looks smaller than Andrew's. Well, that's interesting. But the X-frame difference, like, see, don't chat about it saying the X-frame difference. You're absolutely right. There is a massive difference in that X-frame, man. Massive difference. Andrew has the best silhouette in all of modern-day bodybuilding. Front lat. Okay, look, we'll go back to the front lat spread. We'll call it. I got no problem with that. Who wins it? Who takes the front lat spread? You guys tell me who you think takes the front lat spread in the comments. We'll talk about it some more. There's a reason why I made you a moderator, brother. And thank you for that. I really appreciate you being here. Bring Sean Ray out of retirement. I think he's probably about 20 years removed at this point. Superset Man in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Superset Man in the chat. You know, Superset Man knows his stuff. Hadi wins the front lat spread and Nick is second. Okay. You want to explain that one to us, Superset Man? You guys go subscribe to Superset Man if you haven't already. One of the best comparison channels on YouTube, without question. Blitz matches, the blitz matchups are used by literally everybody. We've got some people saying Nick takes the front lat spread. Andrew, Synth, all tilt. They're all tilted a little bit. Nick's not. Nick is pretty straight on. So we've got Nick, Andrew, even though his posing sucks, marking down Andrew's shoulder, Hadi, Nick. Nobody, a lot of people don't like Andrew in this shot. Andrew needs a neck. Superset Man is another Nick fanboy. Yeah, he admits it. But at least he has Hadi taking the front lat, so there's that. Nick versus Andrew. At first sight, Andrew Jack. There's only one guy there you can see his neck in this pose, and that's Nick. So I think it's fair to say some mixed reviews on the front lat spread. So Black Patron, maybe I'm not just a Nick fanboy. I am. But in all honesty, this one is a little bit more tough to call because Andrew does traditionally have, I think, one of the best front lat spreads ever. You know, ever. These pictures might not be doing him justice. But I think overall, we are seeing a lot of people saying Andrew. Although that might just be the same people over and over again. It mostly is. Okay. Superset Man says Andrew Jack should normally win the front lat spread. I agree. But he's not spreading his wings here. He's got that issue again with both lats. Martin is definitely last in the front lat spread, so it's between Hadi and Nick. And Hadi wins because of the structure. Fair to say. Very fair to say. Good analysis. That's why Superset Man is the man. Okay, give it to Hadi. Yep, give that one to Hadi. Nick still wins more poses. Count them up. Nick wins more poses. As of right now, if you're going shot for shot, I think Nick is winning. These other guys left the door open. No matter who you are a fan of, no matter who you are a personal fan of, looking at the conditioning factor and these other guys that left the door open, especially from the back, I think that Nick has won the most shots, and I think that Nick Walker is ahead after prejudging. Does Andrew have a coach? Yes, Andrew works with Chris Aceto. He's been working with Chris Aceto for the past couple of years. Nick is winning the whole damn thing. So far, I think Nick is ahead. Superset Man says, but if you want to point out Hadi's shoulders, Nick could actually win what used to be his weakest pose. There's arguments to be made. There is. Oh, it used to be Nick's front lat spread. Okay, Nick loses. Let's move on. It's not the case anymore. It's not his worst pose. He learned how to open up. He learned how to flatten out the shoulders, widen himself across the chest and shoulders. For sure. Superset Man says Nick won the side chest, back double bicep, back lat spread, side tricep, and most muscular for sure. And there you also have the front lat spread. Nick won the most shots. He did. The poll results, over 900 votes. Nick Walker at 41%, Andrew Jack at 33%, and Hadi Choopan at 24%. Go back and take another look. We'll move this out of the way. Do you think there will come another time in bodybuilding with real mass monsters? Real mass monsters. I guess I would ask, when do you consider the era of bodybuilding where there were real mass monsters? That is my question to you. Andrew's legs too small, bro. Yeah, they're. I don't think they're too small. I think Andrew's quite proportionate. But these guys all left the door open. There's no question. Conditioning wise, these guys all left the door open. Except for Nick. Nick showed up in shape. Yeah, okay. So Marcus, like Ronnie, Nasser, Jean-Pierre Fuchs. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't think we'll ever see an era like that again. No. Should never say never, but I don't think anytime soon. Not with what we're seeing now. Hey guys, we'll go through a couple more poses and we'll look at wrapping everything up. We will have the finals tomorrow. We will be going live for the finals, you guys. Really looking forward to the finals. especially after this prejudging. I mean, there was some serious contenders here for who we thought was going to win the show, and there was so many guys that were off. So many guys that were off. You know, when it comes right down to it, Andrew was off, Hadi was off, Martin was off. You guys were off. These are supposed to be the best in the world, and all of them showed up off to one of the biggest shows in bodybuilding. Never, I think, would anybody would have predicted that. I don't think anybody would have predicted that to happen. But that's what we saw. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Black Patron, thank you very much for being here, brother. We'll see you at the finals. Black Patron, longtime moderator of the channel here on the live stream. You guys holding it down tight. Appreciate it, brother, very much, as I appreciate all of you guys being here in the chat. We've got some OGs of the channel. We've got some new Gs of the channel. Kind of sounds weird to say, but it came out anyway. Again, appreciate each and every one of you. We will be going live tomorrow. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But again, to recap what took place here tonight, we had Nick Walker just surprisingly being the guy that, like, I think everybody expected Nick to be on, but I don't think everybody expected everyone else to be notably off. I think that was surprising. But Nick was very, very much on here. So Nick Walker, when you go shot by shot ahead after prejudging. Brian Mathis, EP, how can we support you other than subscribing to your channel? Well, you could go to biomuscle.com and use code EP10 at checkout. That certainly helps support the channel. Follow me on Instagram. Super chats are always appreciated. I kind of feel like I'm a pretty low maintenance channel when it comes to, looking for anything from the fans. Honestly, the support of just you guys being here and giving me the ability to just talk bodybuilding with the fans of the sport around the world, hitting that subscribe button, following on a regular basis. I mean, that does a lot. That does a lot for me. No, honestly, it does. So I appreciate the question, Brian. I really do. Really just being here in the chat and hitting that subscribe button, commenting on the videos. These are the things that are the biggest supports for me. Freedom Fighter 17, €2. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. I don't really push super chats, at all, honestly. Just doesn't really come on my radar. Frank G 9G4 EP, where would you have 2024 Detroit Good Vito in this callout? Ooh, I'd have him right at the top. I'd have him standing right next to Nick, and I think conditioning wise, you'd see him in the top three. Top three, top four. Beating Martin, taking Martin's spot for sure. No question, taking Martin's spot. Fourth place, shoe in. The rest of it, I'd have to do comparisons. Nick's legs are the best they've ever looked from the front. I agree. I think they are. Nick Walker nailed it. But in Classic Physique, again, Wesley Visser's taking home the win for his third Arnold Classic title. Very well-deserved victory. Mike Somerfeld, unfortunately, not showing up at his best. Or, sorry, not showing up at all. Not making the weight. And leaving that door open for Wesley Vissers. Wesley was the clear favorite and the clear winner, in my opinion. Tomorrow, we have the ability to see substantial improvements from guys like Andrew Jack, like Hadi Choopan, like Martin Fitzwater. Nick could make improvements in the upper back for sure. And I do think that we'll see it. Freedom Fighter 17, you deserve it. Best commentator on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being an OG of the live streams, and I appreciate all you guys being here. So I really do appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button again. That is the best way that you can help support the channel. If you guys want to get some great supplements that are made by a fan of bodybuilding, just wanting to get into the sport in whatever way that he possibly could, Davey Mize created Bayou Muscles, reached out to me well over a year ago, sent me supplements to try, and I was very impressed. You know, for a grassroots company, not a big company by any stretch, but the quality of his supplements, I have nothing to gain by bullshitting you guys. The quality of his supplements are on par with some of the best supplements that you'll find on the market. Honestly, they really are. So go into BioMuscle.com, use code EP10. That supports not just my channel, but also just a legitimate fan of bodybuilding. So you guys can certainly do that. Am I going to stream tomorrow? I will absolutely be here tomorrow for the live stream. I may even get up and do a video in the morning before we go live. I'll look at the schedule again, see what the timing lines up like, and at the very least, I will be live tomorrow, and we'll look at doing another bodybuilding breakdown podcast through the week as well, so that we can keep this conversation going, find out what you guys think after the fact. Men's physique, I guess, is tomorrow. So we'll see men's physique prejudging and finals tomorrow as well. I will be live tomorrow, you guys. I honestly can't wait yet again. I honestly can't wait. It's going to be a fantastic show. Vegastar57, definitely the best bodybuilding commentator. Thank you very much for that. That is greatly appreciated. You guys make it, honestly, all worth it. And I'm going to give a shout out again to my wife, Kristen, because I wasn't even going to go live this weekend. You guys that have been here for a while, you know I've had a notable absence from YouTube. In the last few months, I've been trying to concentrate on my commercial diving company. Well, I've done that. I came home. I told her it was the Arnold, and she was like, why aren't you online? I was like, I've been away for a few months. I didn't just want to kind of jump back into it. But she was like, it's the Arnold Classic. Like, what are you doing? I was like, fuck, you're right. So it's because of her that I'm back, you guys, okay? So she was really, really instrumental in that. It's you got to have the right people around. I do. Am I planning this year to do some live streams from an event or some interviews before the shows? I am planning on going to the Toronto Pro, yes. I do want to be at the Toronto Pro. I found out that I've got a trip going back to the Arctic in July, but I believe the Toronto Pro is in June. So I should be okay there. Toronto Pro Show 2026 is June 13th to 14th, so I can definitely do that. And I go to the Arctic first week of July. I'll be there for a week. I'll try and do some videos from up there, actually. I think that'd be cool. You guys might be into that if I do some news videos from up in the Arctic. That might be cool. I think Andrew is not winning a single pose. Very interesting. Very interesting to say. I think he won the abs and thigh. You know, I do think that he won the abs and thigh. Front lat spread, debatable. But yes, I do want to go to a show. The Toronto Pro is the most logical one for me. I'm going to reach out to the promoter of that show and try to get the wheels turning on that. So leave that with me. I will do my best to see about going down to even Tier Muscle and Fitness up there. A lot of good pros there. You've got, I mean, the list goes on. You've got Antoine Vaillant. You've got Morgan McDonald. You've got Quint Beastwood, Robin Strand. A lot of really good pros out of there. So we'll look at that. Hassan Mustafa trains out of there as well. Do I think Ian Valier will compete again? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't know how well Ian Valliere will do, but I do think that we'll see Ian Valliere step on a pro stage again. Yeah, I do. He's looking good right now. And I don't think that Ian would step on stage without being at least competitive to win a pro show. I don't think we'll see him on the Olympia stage again. Not as of right now. But I do think that Ian Valliere will be on a pro stage again, yes. And I do think that he will not come back unless he would be in contention to win a pro show. Okay, I'm going to wrap up the stream right here, you guys. Again, I will be live tomorrow for the finals of the Men's Open at the Arnold Classic. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Congratulations again to Wesley Vissers for taking home the win. And we will see who will be the 2026 Arnold Classic Open winner tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here. Again, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. If you have been here for quite some time, I appreciate everyone stopping by the channel for the stream. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the finals of the 2026 Arnold Classic. Catch you guys then.